Howdy, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Johnson Creek in the mountains of Idaho, and super excited for episode 7 of the Nowhere Fast series. We're going to be traveling down to Nevada, and we've got a ways to go, so we better get going. Beautiful day for flying and a bunch of good guys to fly with. We are going to be mainly a cross-country navigation flight today. I know some of these end up being plenty of stops in little challenging airfields, but today it's all about trying to get south. And so I'll explain why that is. But first of all, I'm going to bring in some of the other guys that are flying. We do kind of have some other folks joining us, and we just
We're up.
like to welcome those guys there. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And we got the stall horn. There.
We already have guys crashing. So
Sounds like it's going about as well as I expected it would go.
yeah, these things happen.
Yep.
These things
Sorry, give
happen.
me a second.
Well,
Gotta clear the trees. Okay, remove the trees.
I'm gonna brief the departure here really quickly, and
Just screaming at us.
and then we can get going because, like I say, it's gonna take us a little while, and I want to make sure that we're not
It's a bad idea. I should have just.
we're not flying all over the
Airport looks
place.
totally.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute that. Those guys are kind of, some of them have just installed the Johnson Creek scenery from LP Nils, and so they're testing things out. But here's essentially the game plan today. The first leg here, like I say, it's less about landing in a bunch of these little small strips, which is what we did last time, and more about getting from Johnson Creek down south a ways into Nevada. Actually, Juniper, Nevada is our destination. You can see, it's going to be a 3 hour tour or so far, or close to it. I mean, so we're gonna be testing our cross country navigational skills today. And the first little waypoint here is the Deadwood Dam, and we're going to be departing to the south, which is good because that is, according to Active Sky, yeah, that's our favorable winds here, 180 at 5. But just a beautiful day to fly. I've got my time set, by the way, guys. Not that it matters, but I do have real world set, 180 at 5 for the winds. But I've got my time set for dawn, just first light. So we make sure that we have tons of good light to fly. Hey, TD checking in. How's it going, man? Good to see you. So guys, that's kind of it's a south departure along the terrain to the Deadwood Reservoir, and then after that it's a little bit more of a turn to the east, and our next thing we're trying to find is this Prairie Airport, and as you can see, there's a little bit of terrain that we can follow, and it kind of leads us here. Thinking this 9,451 foot peak is going to be something good to aim for. And then after we get to Prairie, we're going to be looking for this Anderson Ranch Reservoir, and that kind of lets us know that we're heading in the right direction. We're attempting to avoid some of the air spaces here. We do have air traffic control on, which is pretty cool, but we're going to be flying over the Snake River. And I was told by insider sources who know these things, that the we're actually pretty close to, I think it's, yeah, right in here, pretty close to the spot where Evel Knievel attempted his ill-fated jump over the Snake River Canyon. So depending on how things go, we may try. It's like 10 miles away from might be Buell here, so it might be kind of in this area, the Ziggy's area. We may try to go check that out. Again, we'll just kind of have to see how the time and fuel situation looks like. But anyway, after we get past the Anderson Ranch Reservoir, we're going to maintain this heading here down to the Buell airfield. And again, crossing over that Snake River is going to be important. And then from Buell, we're going to head down here. We're going to try to find this Salmon Falls Creek Reservoir, which should put us there at the Jackpot Reno airfield, Hayden, I guess. And then from Hayden, we're going to kind of zig and zag through. You can see there's some hills, some terrain. We go over there's this little Thousand Springs Creek, little ranch reservoir. I don't know if it'll be, rendered or not, but that'll put us into Juniper. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have purposely not flown this, not practiced this, just because I wanted to see how lost that we could get. So it could be interesting, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let me pop back over to the voice Discord and see if there's any
5,000 feet
questions.
already. She's struggling.
Holy cow, we're just rolling. We're rolling. Any questions, guys, before we get started? I'll take that as a no. Whoops. Any questions before we get started, guys?
Nope. Did you start streaming?
I am streaming. We're live and ready to go. So it's south departures,
Yeah.
and we're heading for that reservoir. So if folks are ready to go, they can, or I'll fire things up and I'll be ready here in just 1 second.
I just have to get the stream going to host it into you.
Very nice.
I didn't get that ortho tile because it didn't.
Okay.
Is that a demo area?
No, shouldn't be. But there's an airfield down there, Rob, that you can find. That's it's a default, but it'll be down there close enough.
Right. Well, I got the 2 airports.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, but no, it should be one that at some point you can pick up, but like I say, not a deal breaker without a doubt.
I assume that first little jaunt, we're just following the river south till we get to dead.
That's a firm. All right, so we've got power on. We're going to go ahead, put the mixture full. I have run this already, so we should be somewhat warmed up. All right, I'm just firing up now, and I'll taxi for a south departure. We are at
Yes.
we are at almost 5,000 foot, and
95 would clear the min safe for the entire length of the flight. So
yeah.
Just for your.
Yeah, and and again, guys, it's not really scud runs tonight. It's a whole different philosophy. We want to get up and above and kind of find those major waypoints like this first Deadwood reservoir. So I was thinking 95, yeah. See if my plane can get there.
Just give me 20 minutes to get the thing up to that altitude. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, you'll be right behind me, buddy. All right, so let's get the
172 ain't that powerful.
Let's get the compasses coordinated, and I'm gonna lean it out here.
Horns on takeoffs?
This is where my Husky will shine.
Yeah, we have a variety of planes here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll lean this guy out for some maximum RPM, and we're pretty heavy because I've got it's a 3-hour flight, and I've got 4+ hours of fuel on the airplane. So this initial climb is going to be something. It's going to be a challenge.
A mystery that can't seem to be solved right now.
So we're going to go 2280, and we'll get things started here. Let's Johnson Creek radio check. All right.
Clear 505.
Okay, Johnson Creek traffic. Actually, this is Cessna 11816. We're going to be back taxi and runway 18 for south departure, Johnson. Okay, I think we are ready. Oh, I better turn my gens on, nav, beacon, landing lights. What the heck? I'm going to put the pitot heat on too, just because you never know. Even though it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, you may need it. I am fully stuck. Okay, there we go. Oh, parking brake still set. Jeez Louise. Alright, it's been a while, but it hasn't been that long. Holy cow. We can... No, I thought maybe we had a little taxi lane here. Oh, yeah, we do. All right. Yeah, so welcome, everybody. Good to have you along. If you're popping in the chat, give me just 1 second. Let me get things ready to go, and then I'll
Johnson Creek traffic.
happily
Anyone else preparing to depart?
visit with you. I don't know if anyone else is.
It's all you, buddy.
So we have a nice mix of folks on the Discord and in the flight right now, and plenty of actual real-world experience, which is really cool. So,
Johnson Creek radio check.
and we got you 5x5,
Gotcha.
and we also have quite a bit of
Skylane 9M Mike is back taxiing behind Brant. We'll clear the runway and let him depart, and then I'll follow behind him.
quite a bit of scenery developed skills here as well. It's kind of become a fun little project. So part of the deal with this is you as a guest or a viewer or participant sharing your little secret spots. And Johnson Creek, Cessna 11816, we're going to be taking runway 18 departing to the south VFR Johnson. And so this is obviously not a secret spot, but it's one that's a lot of fun. And we'll let the back taxi traffic clear out before we take off. But anyway, if you have a spot, we're actually heading towards one that was suggested by a friend of ours. We're heading to a spot called, well, I won't give it away, but it's in Colorado. And then we're eventually looking to end up in Minnesota. I'm going to do this for a full calendar year. We started in January, and I'm going to do this all the way up to January. And it should be, like I say, a lot of fun. And before I do anything, though, I'm gonna hang tight just 1 second, and I need to take care of some business here. I'll be right back.
Second, guys, give him a second.
All right. Yeah, I didn't want to forget to do that because we've got a long way to go. Okay, Johnson Creek traffic, Cessna 11816. We're on the roll, runway 18 Johnson. Okay. Single notch of flaps in, and nice long runway here. And we'll need just about every bit of it.
Brant.
Oh. A little bit of a bouncy departure here. And it will be a rather patient climb, as you heard one of our fellow pilots talking about. It's just going to take a little while. 500 feet a minute or so, all the way up to 9,500. But we've got a nice long terrain feature in this canyon to follow, so we're in good shape. And Johnson Creek, Cessna 11816, we're clear of the active heading south. And we'll continually trim out as well and just try to maximize all of the power that we have. Alright, flaps are up. You know, one thing I forgot to check here is I want to make sure that I'm not. I need to be on altitude mode. And we are good. I do have a flight plan filed. It's a VFR plan, and essentially it's Johnson Creek to Juniper. And for the most part, though, we will be just simply VFR. In fact, I don't anticipate us being anything but. We're trying to skirt airspaces and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's kind of the plan of attack here. Kitty Monster checking in. What's going on? Multi-streaming. Okay, cool. And Black Fox 403. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. I don't know much German. I always say Mein Mutter. That's about all I know. Mein Schatz. She calls me Mein Schatz. That's about it. Flight plan filed. We're going to the creek that way. Now we're going from the creek, not to the creek. Alright, trim. We're making 80, which is good. Winds should be somewhat favorable. They really, about an hour ago, were really super favorable coming straight out of the north, but right now they are,
Hello.
I guess, not too bad. But just in general, it's going to be a beautiful day to fly.
Guess took off yet?
Yeah, we just started rolling.
So I'm going to get my timer going. The first leg is, 37 nautical miles, and I'm a little late getting the timer started. So we'll say we were, let's say we were 5 miles down, so 32 nautical miles. So I would guess in about 20 minutes or so we should be seeing the Deadwood Dam
Yeah,
Reservoir.
we're doing a VFR.
I don't know how to use the Carenado. I used the Cessna 210.
And by the way, anybody who joined the voice channel, if I didn't say hello, welcome everybody. Hope you have fun.
You guys all take off already?
I think I'm the only one in the air, unless there's somebody behind me I didn't hear the
No,
call.
4 of us are in the air already.
Oh, you guys passed me up. That's okay.
What's the airport's called?
I'm still
Yeah, I'm
behind.
still on the ground. I guess I'll be right back again.
So I'm
What's the airport's
fighting a little bit of a
called?
little something. Well,
Uniform 2.
I'm fighting a man
Valley,
cold.
that can
Let's
do.
be honest with you. So it's serious. So I'm hoping that I don't have to make a flying trip to the bathroom like I did there on departure, because if that's the case, I'm going to have to find some fields to set her down, I guess. But yep,
Down.
I am kind of the slowpoke right now, Kenny. Alright, well good. If those guys are going, there's going to be some guys faster than me, for sure. I'm looking at, this thing will probably do around 100 once I get up to altitude, but that's about it. I really should have pulled off while I was there at Johnson Creek, let those guys go by, but I think they
Alright, I'm
figured
back.
it out anyway.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, this we lost
Line up to
we
take
lost ATC, but that's okay. So again, I kind of alluded to this earlier, and if you're tuning in and saying what's nowhere fast, well, what it is essentially is just a chance to fly
We're gonna be 9,500.
this airplane
I'll go 10,000.
from point A to point
Far
B,
even +5.
and just find the hidden sort of secrets, the little spots that are around that you don't know about. There's the guy behind us. And do it in a way that's not a hurry, not a rush, so that you can really, if you want to, you can stop and you can take in things. And so some of these flights, well, the very first one was coordinated with the Bush League backcountry fly-in, and I flew all the way out to
Say again?
Washington essentially.
That's already up. I need to come.
and flew in that
Yeah,
event.
22.8.
Since then, we've flown around, and I'll show you the map here in a little bit, but we've flown all around Idaho and let's see, Washington, Oregon, and now we're just getting ready to, like I say, take a little bit of a southern loop and hit some of the canyonlands of Utah. And I've got a bit of an idea for maybe a fly-in.
Okay, set a push to talk in the Discord that's different than on VATSIM, so you're not double talking.
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, thinking about maybe organizing a fly-in event for later on this month or early April. So that's kind of why I'm trying to, like today, instead of, there's a bunch of places that we could stop that we actually have scenery for, but the Downwind Sim, our friend Downwind Sim, made a bunch of good scenery for around here, but we're essentially just trying to get ourselves down into the southern part of Utah. It's going to take us 2 trips essentially to do that, and today is kind of trip number 1. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy, and we will enjoy, the really nice ortho that was created around this scenery here in Idaho. And I can't remember, do I have the ability? Yes, I do. Heat, air. Probably need a little heat right now. Keep my windows from frogging up. Okay. So guys, as with all of these flights, you certainly have the freedom to explore, and if you see a place that looks fun to land, you see a sandbar, you see a mesa, you see a little tucked out of the way airstrip or whatever, feel free. You'll know the general direction that we're going, and you know, you can definitely get caught up with me without too much trouble. So, you know, you have the freedom to explore and have fun.
You know who November 9161 Tango is?
Negative.
I think that's Ian.
Yeah, it's me.
And the Stallhorn blaring.
Steve,
What's his
I
name
love
again?
it.
I'm eating.
All right, let's see.
So I just passed you.
That's right. If you're going too fast, TD, you cannot see those. Steve right behind us. Awesome. Awesome.
Dude,
You know,
this
Steve, there's a lot of pressure, by the
Husky
way,
is glorious. I'm
sharing
already at
scenery with you.
9,500 feet.
Sharing scenery with, it's kind of like sharing scenery with Downwind Sim. You guys know what you're doing, but
Ah,
hopefully
this stuff.
This thing
hopefully
is a
it'll look all right.
champion.
I have fun making it. I get a little bit better with every one I make, so at some point in time
What was
I'll
the question?
feel good enough to maybe share it out
We're just
publicly.
following the valley. I'm doing like a 160 right now.
Yep, we're looking for Deadwood Reservoir here, which is about 30 some miles south. 37.
You said Deadwood there?
Yep.
A-firm. Yep, 37 miles on roughly a 173 heading, but again, just follow the terrain. It should lead you right there. So activity in the background, man. I tell you what, let's see. JPC, thanks for the host, by the way, and Yangling, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Prop Culture. Good to have you along. Okay, we're getting within 500 foot. This thing actually climbed out halfway decent, and yeah, kind of impressed. Didn't take that long after all. We do have, if worst comes to worst, we do have some VORs that we can tune as well. And on a, you know, for the most part, we try to do this without, but you know, it's not bad to have that, especially if you get turned around a little bit. I mean, essentially, I try to keep it as simple as I possibly can. And if we just continue on this roughly south heading, even if we don't per se find the Deadwood Dam or the what's that other one, Anderson Ranch Reservoir, we're going to run into the Snake River. I mean, the Snake River runs all the way across from east to west on our route. So, I mean, if worse comes to worse, we're going to find that and we can get our bearings from there. So I'm not too worried about the first half of this flight. I am a little bit worried about the second half because I don't know that the terrain features are going to be quite as prominent, and I'm just less familiar with the area. Speaking of Downwind Sim, by the way, if you know him or you have heard about him, he has made a really nice little scenery package for this area that I believe includes 4 airstrips kind of right by the Boise, Idaho area. And you should reach out to him and ask, and I'm sure he would be happy to share. That was actually our very, very first ever Bush League backcountry fly-in was up here, and we hit places like Weatherby and Atlanta and South Fork. I'm trying to remember all of them, but really, really a fun and incredibly challenging group of airstrips. Just some of those that are literally sliced right out of the forest that feel like they're only a few inches wider than your wings. But if you're in this area and you like this kind of stuff, there's some cool scenery developed by Downwind Sim. He should be joining us later on, by the way. I'm hoping anyway that he can. And if anybody else, by the way, wants to join in along the way, there's lots of little airfields you can spawn at and just hop in, and yeah, the more the merrier. We've got a good group tonight though, so that's cool. Alright. Can't see the crash site. Ooh, there's a guy blowing my doors off. That must be Steve. Steve, which way to the door store? You just blew my doors off, man. Now we're going to do some formation work now. Nothing more beautiful than 2 Cessnas flying in formation.
And we just hit 95.
Mine is at 9,800 feet.
Yeah, baby.
Just talks, heads up, you're on uniform.
I gotta get a shot of this while I can. Oh no. Where am I going? Don't lose him. Alright. I need to fly. Worry less about making videos and just, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, well, just a little bit before 9 o'clock in the morning on my adjusted sim time, by the way, and we're passing through about 12 minutes. Aviate, navigate, screenshot a gate, communicate. Haven't heard that one yet, TD. That's good stuff. Titanium Druid, one of our stream sponsors. Again, my friend, I appreciate that.
Number 34, bouncing all up and down.
One of the good guys in this deal. You should check him out. If you don't already follow him. I think I see the reservoir maybe ahead of us here. I'm running pretty hot right here. Let's back off a little bit. Don't need to be redlining. Definitely don't want an engine failure right here. There is not a lot of options. There's a couple of fields here and there, but yeah, it's gonna get bad quick if you lose your engine up here. About the only thing we have going for us in this flight is that we're at 9,500 instead of usually we're down there about 1,000 foot above. Got to take it easy on the water tonight, even though I'm going to need it for my voice. No autopilot in this baby, so I can't exactly step away and just put it on autopilot and come back in a couple minutes. If I have to use the little pilot's room, I'm going to have to land somewhere. I guess I could land on a bluff or something and go use one of those bushes, but it'll be a little bit of an issue if I have to go. If I trim it perfectly. Yeah, I haven't been able to do that yet. This thing wants to, it trims pretty well elevator wise, but it wants to yaw, or not yaw, it wants to roll on me a little bit for some reason. Geez, now I'm really losing my airspeed. I think I've got it. I think I've got the mixture leaned about as far as I can here. Under 80 knots now, and that's not good. I'm going to end up being at the tail end of things anyway, so that's all right. Well, that's part of my master plan. That was what I did at the last Bush League fly-in, which, by the way, was fantastic. Again, if you missed it, it's the first Monday of the month, and we were out in the Virginia area just having a blast. But those were some tricky airfields to find. But luckily, me being toward the end, I had lots of airplanes on the ground that I could reference and just make sure I was in the right area. So I'm going to just tell everybody I'm doing that on purpose now. Picking the slowest plane. Yep, there's definitely, I think, the reservoir. Definitely, I think. That's sounds confident. That is the Dead Horse Reservoir, if my calculations are correct. 4-day for me. How are you, Captain? Good to see you. Doing well. Doing better, I should say. I'm not doing well yet. I missed work today. Was out sick. I slept a ton, and I'm kind of starting to get my legs back under me a little bit here, and I felt like it would be a kind of a good distraction to just do a little something here. So, hey, thanks for the host also, Yang Lang.
You got it.
So let's look at the Vatastic map and let's see what this madness is looking like so far. Yep, there we are. There's our little clump. And yep, I'm sure we'll string out here after a bit. But oh, I'm shocked that where is there? I thought we had other guys up, but anyway, looks like I'm second in line right now. So Steve is taking the lead, and there's the rest of us. That'll be good. Yep, down past Boise, down into this area here. It's not very far on the old map, but it'll be a good, 3 hours worth of flying today, I think. Maybe not quite that, but basically a Cessna version of a long haul. But you're not looking at ocean the entire time. It's definitely a different story. I wish I knew more about this country so I could give you some interesting anecdotes and historical facts, but I just don't. FNOs. Yep. What about them? Speaking of FNOs, tomorrow the Virtual USA Flying Club does have an event that they are scheduling around the FNO, which is up in the Seattle area. And don't want to put him on the spot, but Mike, I would be happy to let you take a few minutes and talk about what you have planned if you want. He may not be listening. He's busy aviating and
Yeah,
navigating.
we're landing at Deadwood.
So, Mike, I just was mentioning somebody on my stream thought it was Friday night for just 1 second, but it was a good way to transition into talking about the event that we have planned tomorrow with the Virtual USA Flying Club. So, like I said, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you wanted to talk about it for just a couple minutes, I would hand the floor over to you, sir.
I'm actually on a phone call. Can I do it in like 5 minutes?
Absolutely, we're gonna get past this reservoir anyway, so that's fine. He is a
My
true
sim just crashed.
multitasker.
Oh, damn. What
Ah,
was
man, that stinks.
Gotta love FSX.
Going X-Lane, bro. You're
What
gonna love
kind
it.
of what kind of FPS do you get, Brand?
Well, you know what? Let me check. I think I'm up around 60, but let me just check. There's a way to do it in this. I don't want to look at the.
It's Mike.
No, I want to look at. I don't want to look at the map. That's cheating. I want to go to. I know there's a way to do it. I
You know
don't.
what? I'll come back better than ever. I'll take a Warhawk. See if I can land in those.
Gosh.
Just do me a huge favor and tell me what your nearest airport is.
And Rob, I'm sorry I don't remember off the top of my head how to pull that information up, but the last time I checked, I was right around that 60 FPS. I used to have Avitab here. Maybe that could do it. Okay, let me do this. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want. Aircraft.
Hey, what's your nearest airport, guys?
Gosh.
Mine is Deadwood. Damn.
What's the ICAO?
Seemed like there was a way to do it in Avitab, but I don't remember. If anybody on the chat stream
6-6.
knows how to pull that up. Hey, Downwind Sim, how's it doing? And Lord
sorry,
Galahad,
one more time.
someone who's never played flight sims. Should I pay 20 for FSX, 55 for X-Plane 11? I hear you need to buy add-ons for X-Plane 11. So,
Yeah,
okay, that's a great question, Lord
6-6.
Callahan. Here's, I guess, the advice I'd give you, and I'm coming from.
It's like your little
I've spent a lot of time in FSX and P3D and now X-Plane. And by the way, I just flew over the top of that reservoir. Hold that thought for just 1 second. Now I need to be going on 158 heading, following the terrain here. So our next waypoint, by the way, is we're looking for the Smith Prairie Airport, and again, it's going to kind of be a follow the terrain type of deal here, but roughly a 158 for 48 nautical miles. I've got everything set here, and then I'll answer, I guess, in my own opinion, my own thoughts. But and I really, by the way, have enjoyed all of those platforms.
All right, sorry about that, Brand. I'm off the phone.
All right, I'll go ahead and pause my monologue. I was just about to answer the secret of life, but go ahead. Talk to us about the event you've got coming up. Yep.
The secret of life is live it how you want. That's the secret of life.
Ah, dang it.
Hold on, let me just put a link in there.
You just took what I was going to talk about for like 15 minutes and made it a one-sentence deal. All right, so Lord Callahan, I'll get back to your question in just a second, but I'm going to let Jet Pilot Cinnamon, aka Mike Sanante, who is the chairman and CEO of the Virtual USA Flying Club, talk about the event that he has organized for this coming up Friday.
Yeah, all right. So it's going to be concurrently with the F&O going on in Seattle, Virtual USA Flying Club. I put the link in the Discord. We are doing a group flight from YKM to OLM to PAE. So that's Yakama, I think that's how you say it, to Olympia, and then Olympia to Payne Field. So we're going to be going past Mount Rainier, and then we're also going to be going under the Bravo, skirting Seattle to the east, just to get in the way of everybody that's going into Seattle for the FNO, and just to give the air traffic controllers a little bit of a different look instead of getting nothing but jet aircraft into Seattle during the FNO. It's the first time we're really doing one of these during an FNO, so it'll be interesting to see. If we have a lot of guys, we might not be able to all do flight following, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there tomorrow night. But the event starts at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 0015 Zulu, and we will be in the Virtual USA Flying Club Discord. I will be giving that brief right at 7:15 Eastern before we start the departures at a Yakama. And if you're not already in the Virtual USA Flying Club Discord and you're a VETSIM member and you're interested in general aviation, we would love to have you. The link is in his chat. All you have to do is read the welcome page, get you set up. Thank you, Brant.
Yep, it should be a lot of fun, and yeah, if we every time we have a fly-in, it seems like we pick up more and more folks, and I think at one point, the one we had at Bayport, we were well over 20 people and maybe even sniffing 30 people, so that'll be a really, I think, a cool thing for the controllers to have to kind of manage that much GA traffic while they're also taking care of that heavy regular FNO volume. But it's a fun event, so hopefully everybody can make it. All right, so we are following terrain here from the Deadwood private dam. We're kind of snaking our way, sort of following this little road, or I don't know if this is actually a creek or a road, but we should be getting up here to the Piety River, and then I'm going to try to stay, there's a peak here, 8,000 foot peak. I'm going to try to stay east of it, east of a 7,800 foot, and that should get us kind of heading in the right direction. There's going to be this little peak as well here, 8,800 foot, that should help us find this Smith Prairie airport, which is the next waypoint. So anyway, so back to the question about if you're just getting started, where do you start? To make a long story short, I think you start with X-Plane. And again, I want to preface that and say that I have really enjoyed FSX, and I really enjoy still P3D. But I think the thing that you do get with X-Plane is the ability to do some pretty amazing things. Basically, right out of the box, you're going to need add-ons for no matter what sim you buy. Lord Galahad, you're not going to be able to get away with it. So just plan on that. I mean, the more you get into any of those platforms, the more you're going to want different scenery and different airplanes and stuff like that. Hey, DAB Spotting, how's it going, man? That peak between Smith's Prairie and Pine is an awesome place to camp. Sweet. Oh man, I haven't camped in like 4 summers, and I'm just dying. So anyway, Lord Galahad, I could bore you with what I've discovered about the strengths and weaknesses of each platform, but I think $55 for X-Plane is well worth it. Everything we're doing right now in this particular flight can be done for free. I happen to be in a Carenado airplane, but a lot of people are flying the default Cessna 172 with a Bush mod that's free, and they're able to just, I mean, the scenery is done through an add-on called Ortho for X-Plane, which again is free. And so I just think you have a ton of options to just jump right in if you like this type of flying. Now, I can't really speak to like if you're more into the jets and that kind of stuff. I don't fly any other jet plane on this sim other than the 727 from FlyJSim, which is incredible. I have a lot more jets in P3D than I do here, but I also know that one of the planes, one of my favorite planes in P3D is the PMDG 737, and they have a free version of that in X-Plane. It's the default 737 with what's called the Zebo mod, and the Zebo mod gives you almost exactly the same quality of the PMDG 737, and it's completely free. So you can get yourself, I guess at the end of the day, you can really get your hands dirty in X-Plane for not a lot of cash. And yeah, like DAB Spotting saying that X-Plane is more of a GA platform, and airliners I think right now are P3D, and I think I would also agree with that. Although I do know the developers on both sims and both platforms are still working hard and putting a lot of good stuff out to kind of balance that out. I know X-Plane, especially with the toolless stuff. I mean, they're kicking out Airbuses and I think X-Plane is they're kind of closing that gap a little bit. But on the flip side, P3D has A to A, and that's a quality that's kind of unmatched really in either platform. I mean, the A to A stuff is just phenomenal for general aviation. So Steve, you're good. Now, Steve, you're good, man. I'm not going to sniff 100, but I'm going to be right around 80 or 90 the whole way. So, but again, that's don't worry about it. You go, you do what you want, and don't worry about that. How's the reality expansion stuff in X-Plane? Worth every penny, and I don't own it myself yet. I say yet, but that really I've got a lot of friends that use it and stream it and talk in depth with me about it off camera, and it kind of does what A to A does. It adds that level of realism that just creates immersion that's hard to match. So it's they're really, and that's there you go. So you talk about add-ons. There's maybe the first payware add-on that you buy, because you can I think the default
Brand,
Beach
your
Baron.
Twitch name the same name? Melvin Leroy?
My Twitch
Yep.
name, yep, that is me. Anyway, the default Beach Baron becomes a whole different airplane when you put the reality expansion pack in with it, and so yeah, it's
He's a man with many names.
yeah. So I had to use my real name in Discord because I was trying to connect with a couple of groups like the Boston Virtual Group, and they won't let you have a stream handle. They want the real name, and so it ended up being good, and so I just have never changed it back. But I do know that kind of creates a little bit of confusion for the 4 people that follow me on Twitch.
So what is your actual name?
My actual name is Brant,
Okay, that's
and
what I thought.
yeah, the Melvin Leroy, that's an homage to my grandpa. That was my grandfather's name, and he was the one that kind of was the one that introduced me to aviation. And so that's my way to pay tribute to him, and so that's the whole boring story around that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Trax 360 saying I can modify my name on each individual Discord server. I'll have to have you walk me through that. I'm so new to all of this. Although I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary on Twitch. I did see that. I'm in April. I celebrate a year on Twitch, so that's pretty cool, I think. But yeah, so Steve is gonna back it off a little bit. Cool, man. Downwind Sim. Oh, he shared a link above. So Downwind Sim's trying to get us to go see the site of the failed Snake River Canyon jump by Evel Knievel, and so Downwind, I did share that, and with the group, and I just said we'll just kind of see how the time and fuel is looking, and we may end up going there. This is a 48 nautical mile leg that I'm flying and zigging and zagging right now. And so I'm thinking it'll take a good, well, probably 30 minutes or so to get there. And we're 11 minutes in right now. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of play it by ear, and I guess, see. I'll probably be the one lagging behind the farthest, so the rest of the guys can probably go over, land, and check it out, and buy something from the gift shop, and
Hey, did
be
you see
back
that
in the air
picture?
before I get there. Did I see
I
the
did.
picture? I don't think I haven't yet. Did you share it in the Discord there? I didn't see it yet. Downwind, did you share it in the Discord?
No, it's
Where
in
at?
your chat.
How did I miss that? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm firing it up right now.
Yeah, where at? We're at in your chat.
Oh my
In his
goodness.
Twitch stream chat.
What
you
in
have to
the
scroll
heck?
up, there's a link.
Image BB. I'm not going to use you anymore. Jeez Louise.
Oh,
That's not good. That looks cool, but the screenshots below were a little bit more than my chat is for. So that's just there, rendered in the ortho, Downwind.
I made the model and stuck it in there.
Oh. Well, we may check it out. Like I say never, but I'm going to get this off before this becomes a Dane Flats stream.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah, well, you never
I've
know.
been thinking about doing that for a while, and I just had to crack open the modeling, so it's done.
For Delta 113, you're passing by me. Wow.
Say again?
All right, so in the meantime, by the way, Lord Galahad, thanks for the follow.
72
Welcome
knots.
to Prop Culture, and same for you, Rob.
Now, 110.
Thanks for following along, tagging along, not only in the flight but also on the stream here. So, yeah, Galahad, we go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, generally speaking, and this type of stuff is sort of the preferred, I guess, mode of transportation. Although I will sneak in a vintage airliner every now and again, but it's propeller driven is kind of what I prefer. All right, we've got a lake of some sort over there. It'd be kind of nice to maybe see on the sectional what that would be. Maybe that's not a lake.
Doing a
Maybe
360 for spacing.
oh, I guess that's not a lake. That's just a little area. But so I think where we just flew past is this little intersection here, where we have the South Fork of the Payette or the Payette. I don't know how to say that river. And so we're going to continue down. There is a little bit of a road, I believe, here that leads us to the North Fork of the Boise. That if we can pick that up, that'll skirt us through this little. There's like a little bit of a terrain feature right here that we need to get through. Hard for me to do that and keep straight and level. It's hard enough for me to just keep straight and level. All right, there's a little creek we're talking about, or road, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of a trail. We'll just follow that. Looks like that guy kind of meanders down this way. Again, we're just generally following about a 160 heading, so I've maybe started going a little too far south. Am I going to celebrate with a 24-hour stream, Kenny Monster? No, but I do have something in the works that hopefully will make it a nice celebration. I've got a little plan that it's kind of rolling around up here right now, and I'll let you know. A big part of it here is how this leg goes, and it depends on how far we get tonight. But if we're able to get where I'd like to go, then I've got a little something scheduled. There's a little something. But wow, it's just so tough to beat this part of the world, I tell you what. let's not get off track too far here. Payette River. Okay, good deal. I like to definitely pronounce that stuff correctly, and every region of the country has their own little vernaculars there. So the South Fork of the Payette River. Beautiful, beautiful. Loman, Idaho. It's kind of the town where we just flew past, back here somewhere.
Off to somebody's right. I don't know who.
Somebody's right. Might be us. Let's see here. No, I don't see anybody.
I've kind of formed two packs. There's the three of you guys all bunched up, and then there's me and Brant way in there.
Yeah, I'm by. See those three? I'm to the right. I'm by myself.
What do they call that in cycling terms? There's the breakaway group, and then what do they call the main pack?
The Peloton.
Peloton.
Isn't that what it's called?
We're the Peloton. I think that sounds right. I'm second to last
They have
now.
a loser. I mean loner.
You're the Pathfinder, Rob.
Not gonna lie, it's a little tricky to keep this thing going.
We do, Steve. I remember that show, man. And then when they made the when the radio station would play that song, boy, I would break out my Hot Wheels trucks, and I was a trucker for the rest of the afternoon. That was a great era of TV. If you think about that, you had Convoy, you had Smokey and the Bandit, you had Dukes of Hazzard. It was just a great television time. Man, that's a beautiful little valley. Bet there's some good fishing down there. Okay, well, again, the idea here is generally following terrain features to lead us and guide us. And after Loman, we do have
About an hour and 27 minutes.
we do have us
Yeah,
a
for me.
pretty good
I think I'm gonna take a Texan on the next leg.
looks like a pretty good little ridge line there. I wonder if that shows up in what we're doing. I think I need to stay to the east of that. I think that's this little ridge line right here, 7,800 foot to 7,100. So I want to just kind of stay east of that, and with any luck, then we'll pick up this North Fork of the Boise.
Yeah,
And so we'll
we're
kind of
not
come
landing at all these
around
fields.
and
We're
just
passing
zigzag through.
We're landing at
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and like I said though, guys, if you need to set her down, you want to set her down, feel free. I mean, that's the spirit of the flight here. So don't think you got to just go straight from A to B. Convoy, you know what? You're right. That would be a good Bush League backcountry theme song. That's a heck of an idea.
Be back.
This will be, by the way, this little airport will be a fairly challenging one to find. I think. I don't know if it's. I mean, it's a little grass strip, little turf strip, 2 uniform 0, and uh-oh, getting a phone call here. Hang tight, 1 second, guys. think I'm Mike Sinante and everything, taking phone calls during the flight here. So it's actually surrounded by mountains, and 2 Uniform 0 is a big flat area. Okay. Had to step away, chat with the monster, and we're doing good so far, man. I mean, we found our first reservoir, which was good, and now we're here I think about 8 minutes away from hopefully finding the Smith Prairie 2 Uniform 0. And so we're getting a little bit of insider information from DAB spotting, and people hunt down there and all that prairie. Yeah, good bird hunting, good chucker hunting from what I understand. I have a friend I used to coach with that he would make the trip out to this part of Idaho and
Mike, you're behind
hunt
me.
chucker and just have a good time. So he's saying, though, DAB spotting is saying that this field is going to be surrounded by mountains, but it's going to be a nice little flat spot. So, and then I'm seeing again, if all goes well, I think right now we're kind of skirting this to the east, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of a gap here on the north fork of the South Boise, or the North Fork of the Boise, sorry, which will lead us down here, and then I'm going to be looking for this high terrain feature here to kind of head toward, and we'll see what happens. But
It's
if we don't find this, I think the reservoir here, this Anderson Ranch reservoir, is going to be big enough. It's a little like a little two lake deal. So if we don't get right on this, that's not a huge deal. We'll look for the reservoir.
Like 11 o'clock. I'm gonna swing there, sit down real quick, and swap planes because it's not a good slow cruising plane.
Steve, that's a firm 2280 if you want it, or just the
Uniform 0.
yeah.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
I'm gonna drop the tank and punch it.
Okay. Well, the trail's
Uh-oh.
Brent, I'm passing on your right now in the distance.
You're ERA going to airport, right?
Nope, I'm November Delta 113 at the moment, but my engine just goes.
So you're the.
We might see him on the right.
Yes.
Must be a little too far away for our camera to pick up.
Okay, I gotta figure out how to start this thing in the air. Oh,
Ooh, there's a little bit of an updraft. That is one thing, by the way. Kind of going back to the question about what sim to pick up for if you're first starting. I do like the updraft effects that you get in the mountains with these GA planes. That's not something that P3D does very well. And so you'll see the nose pop up a little bit here, I'm sure, as we go, and they do a nice job. I'm also really impressed with the water effect that X-Plane, the new version of X-Plane, renders, and I'm a big float plane guy as well, and I've been really happy about that. Yeah, the ground effect is really, I didn't really even, I mean, I don't know that you have ground effect. I mean, you do, but not a lot of planes simulate it. The 808s do, but yeah, it's a nice. I like the flight model, and I little things like that are part of what I like about it. So,
It's on my right side.
all right, now we should be seeing Mike kind of blowing past us here at some point in time.
5,000
Again,
feet.
we're pushing it about as hard as we want to push it, about as hard as we can push it. There, we've got
Take a legacy
I'm a pretty
instead.
good distance off your right
good,
side.
making good
Mr.
power.
Leroy, probably like a couple miles.
All right, appreciate that. Sorry, guys.
November D.
Everything else is looking good as well.
Yes, sir.
Fuel is good. Whoops, see.
Right now.
Oil pressures and temps are all
My
good.
plan is to swap planes and rejoin the group. I just did not realize this Warhawk does not cruise at 100 knots.
It's a Warhawk anyway.
That's true.
So
I'm
you've got
either
a Mooney stashed down there somewhere.
I've either got a Mooney, a Legacy or an SNJ2 Texan.
Nice.
One of those three.
Texan might be appropriate.
Texan.
I was thinking that.
Big rate. Come on, big radial, man. Texan.
I know. Pratt and Whitney Wasp, baby.
We'll fly the dog.
One dogfight with a Texan. Ain't gonna be a fast one.
All right, so we're getting
War
close.
Hawks
We're
are
within
aiming at
3
240 right
miles or so of
But I'm also pretty much
where I
pushing into its
think
limits.
we should be.
Also, Brant, I know you were talking about in the stream, it's pretty flat land. That's definitely correct. It's this big flat area compared to a lot of mountains.
Sounds good. I'm hoping I'm just getting to a ridge line here. I'm hoping I'll crest that and see what I'm looking for. Never really did pick up that.
I'm gonna overfly and then I'll swing in for a landing.
Never really did pick up that South Fork of the Boise. So turn coordinator looks off centered.
See if our flight attendants could make one quickly.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I haven't noticed. Probably me not being straight. Yeah, I probably am yawing a little bit because I'm catching some crosswind. That's if I gave it a little bit of elevator trim, I bet. Let me just do that. A little bit of right rudder. Yep. So I am. I'm just crabbing a little bit, and so that's kind of what you're seeing there. The other thing that's kind of cool about this plane, that just a little tiny dumb thing, is this little keychain just hangs and wobbles in the wobbles in the sunlight. But yeah, no, good catch there. 4-day for me.
Turkish, you gotta go to push to talk instead of voice activation on the Discord, mom.
All right, so this is a little bit of an opening here, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. We're at 29 minutes, which was sort of what we were estimating for
Turkish.
the
Turkish
airfield, Smith Prairie. And again, if we don't get there, that's fine. We'll head. We're looking for a pretty good size. Looks like this is the highest peak. We'll kind of head maybe well, no, I take that back. We were supposed to pass that to that should have been off to our west here. That may be this ridge line right here that we're looking at. But again, if we don't get that, we're gonna just start turning a little bit. 131 is the heading from Smith Prairie, and we'll look for the Anderson Ranch Reservoir, which is nice and long and should be easy for us to spot. There's the little Carnus Reservoir as well. So I also have sometimes a tendency to fly right over the top of the airfield and never see it. Alright, so we're going to start the turn.
There you go.
We kind of already are, I guess, going 131, aren't we?
It's a really
Just
beautiful strip in the middle of
Just
nowhere.
the terrain just is leading us that way.
Hello.
Yeah, is it delayed?
I can hear
I
you.
just heard myself.
I think he's good now.
Alright, how are we doing? Yeah, I could. If I needed to, I could tune that in and get a sense for where we're at. Where is it? Boise. Boise. 1330.
It's runway 624 at Smith Prairie.
All right. So we are picking that up, and we would be that.
Alright, you guys convinced me I'm gonna jump in the Texan.
Good answer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you guys are gonna land this bit.
So if we're tuned in the Boise VOR, this is an 87-degree outbound. So I would guesstimate that we are more like about maybe 75-ish or so. I mean, we could just tune that and just see what we think here. 75. Hey, Goofball Geek, welcome. Hello, great to see you, man. All right, we're attempting to tune a VOR and maintain coordinated flight. So, yeah, 075. Okay, we'll just kind of see what that tells us. Maybe we're not quite as far as we think we are. We're 32 minutes from Dead Horse. So we may be, depending on the wind and all that good stuff. Our calculations, of course, are definitely guesstimates. I'm not punching in. I'm not converting from miles per hour to knots per hour. And anybody know just a quick way to convert? Because usually what I do is just take, like, if it's 50 knots or 50 nautical miles, I just cut that in half and add on like 10%. So it's 50 nautical miles would give me 25 minutes plus 10% of 25 minutes is about 3 minutes. So I figure about 28 minutes or so. So you're thinking it's just over the peak. So I'm probably on the wrong side of the valley. I can use Google. However, as my friend Downwind Sim would say, I don't have. I'm bare bones. I'm basic. So what I'd probably have is a paper chart that would tell me. They would have just rows and columns. But again, it's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal. There you go, Downwind Sim. That's what I'm talking. See, I'm by the book, man. I'm by the book. That looks almost like an airstrip right down there. Not quite. That kind of looks like some of the places we've tried to fly, though, boys. Yeah, 1 mile per hour is about not quite a knot. Yep. So I got that now mentally. 0.868976. Okay, I got that. And the reason why I don't get too carried away with it is because, again, you don't have any way of knowing exactly what your wind is doing for you. And is it helping us? Is it hurting us? I know what it was doing when we departed Johnson Creek, but I don't know what it's doing here. So it's always a guesstimate. And my guess is that we've passed it. And so I'm hoping that the next thing we find here is the the Anderson Ranch Reservoir. And I'm really curious to see when we kind of get around this ridge line here where we're at. We do have the Boise VOR tuned, and that Boise VOR is, I think, telling us essentially that we've already went past that. It right now is, oh no, we haven't quite went past it yet. So right now the Boise, we are about 65 degrees east, so we're not quite there
What was
yet.
the final destination airport? I'm sorry, guys.
November Victor 14.
Thank you.
And again, we were thinking it would be approximately 70, 75, but 50 nautical miles is about, yeah. Well, and yeah, you know what? I take that back. I can't use the half plus 10% because I'm only making 80 knots right now. So it's going to be more like, half plus a half. So like 50 nautical miles is 25 minutes plus half of 25 is another 12. So it'd be more like 37, 38 minutes.
South at Juniper.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb of me. That's the cold. That's why you don't do drugs. That's the cold medicine messing me up. But I digress. Sounds like the guys are giving Smith Prairie
I'll just fight the winds. Just
a look. That's cool. Scenery link is in my Discord if I have to land, stop and add it. All right, I'm still thinking about it, Downwind. Still thinking about it. I'm a little bit worried about a couple of things. One of them is me having enough stamina to make it to the end of a long stream after the day I've had.
Alrighty.
But I'm not going to say no just yet. Never say never.
Yeah, it does flatten
This does
out.
feel like a little flatter area, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
kinda
think
weird.
it's as flat as what those guys are finding. They may be over here, though. Like I say, we may not quite be there just yet. And the other thing is, I guess we could estimate here. Yeah, 37 minutes. I'm in the neighborhood. 44. Thanks, man. I'm in the neighborhood. So as I look at my, it's a 79 degree radio, so I'm cheating a little bit. 79 degree, and it's a DME of 28 nautical miles, by the way. Don't ask me how I know that. Paper chart over here on the side. No, paper chart up. Where is my paper? Right here. I've got a calculation here somewhere. All right, put you away. DME doesn't help me in this because I don't have a DME, by the way, in this plane. So I'm just funning with you, downwind sim. What was the Avitab question? I thought there was a way to pull Avitab up and show frame rate, or frames per second, but I don't remember exactly how to do that. So that was my question.
And we're out.
All right, here looks like a little bit of a ranch or some kind of homestead. That's kind of cool. Not picking up that Boise River like we'd hoped. Alright, well, I'm going to... looks like our VOR is coming in here. So, the FPS should show at the top bar of the app. Alright, so let me just pull that up.
In your active sky, do you have it set up to use VATSIM weather?
Nope. I forced it to the real world weather. Screw the VATS and
I agree.
Same.
So I'm getting a lot of windy. It's windy.
So I don't see it up here, my friend, but
I'm not getting blown around that much.
it's on the main screen frame of Avitab.
Yeah, I got winds calm actually.
So FPS.
Oh, never mind. It's not connected. Hold on.
I don't use this very much, so if it's a snake, it's gonna bite me here. That's probably click on airports. Okay, airports.
I wonder if that's 'cause I
Okay,
changed it, kinda
and
like
just pick one or NV 14 Juniper. Okay. And I thought too that it did do that. Is it one of those deals where you have to? Yeah. Hey, Sparker in VR. Could be. I don't use it often. Downwind Sim kind of got me set up on it, but not a huge deal. Somebody had a question of what my frames were, and the last time I had checked it, it was like 60-ish or so, and I just was curious. So, all right, we're getting close here, guys. I mean, here comes our VOR, and click the gear. Click the gear. It's a setting. Okay, gotcha. All right. You guys are getting me like off task here. Click the gear. So go out of here. Out of here. Click the gear. What gear are you talking about? All right. We'll worry about that later. I'm just going to tell everybody that I get like 100 frames per second. There's a reservoir. All right, awesome. There is, I'm thinking, the Anderson Ranch Reservoir. So that means we zipped past. We zipped past. Boy, we actually ended up a little bit too far to the west also here. But that's cool. All right. Over Featherville and Pine. Okay, very good. Good to know. Good to know. I would definitely say this is that long, narrow reservoir. So what I think I'm hearing you say, though, is that we ended up way up here, and we should follow this down, potentially down here to the dam face. The dam is really what I'd like to see. If I could see the dam, then I know I could head out from there. So let me just, instead of being right over the top of it here, let me kind of turn so I can see. I'm heading south. Yeah, so I'm heading south. Yep, there we go. Okay. Yep, that's definitely not this end of the lake that has the dam. That's the inlet side. Okay. So I slid a little bit, not to the west, to the east, a little further than I had planned, but that's okay. We're back on track, not too far off. I can remember researching the guys. I did a route in the DC3 for the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and they were talking about some of the navigation techniques that they would use back then, and pretty interesting and phenomenal what they were able to do. But they did talk a lot about some days a good day meant that you were within 100 miles of where you intended to be when you got across, the open ocean. And some days he felt like he could put you within 10 feet. So being a little bit off is not definitely not a mortal sin here. But we did miss the airport. So I'm going to head down to the southwest corner. I'm going to pick up the dam face, and then at that point I'm going to take my turn on a 131 heading, and I'm going to start my clock. So it is a 63 nautical mile leg from the airport. So where would it be from the dam face? Let's figure that out here real fast. 54 nautical miles. So that's pretty close to what we just did. So we expect about a 35-minute leg. This looks like we got the dam coming up. Kind of a neat, this looks like a neat little canyon there, DAB spotting. Have you been down in here? I bet that's kind of fun. Scooting through there. How does the Anderson Ranch not have its own private strip? It's got to have a strip out here, doesn't it? Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, so Sparker and VR, perhaps I have an old version. It is definitely possible. I haven't really done much since I installed it originally, and that's been a little while. Okay, well, I think the plan for us is going to be, I think we've kind of been left in the dust here, but that's okay. Everybody's in their Texan now and their Moonies, and they're making some good time. We are going to turn. Now it's a heading of 154, and it's a 54 nautical mile leg. So we're going to plan about 38 to 40 minutes for this leg, and at that point in time, sorry downwind, I don't think I'm going to make the side trip here, but anybody else that's in the flight, since you're way ahead of me, if you want to stop and connect with Downwind Sim and get the little rocket launcher thing for the Evil Knievel launch site and go check it out, you're welcome to. Just I'm an XL. Get me a T-shirt at the gift shop. Oh man, Traffic PT. And his avatar, it's right above where it says charts. Yeah, I think I must have an old version. I don't know. I'll kind of mess around with here in just a little bit. David 4DW, welcome to Prop Culture. Thanks for pressing that follow button. That's awesome, man. Appreciate that. We're closing in on the southern part of Idaho here. We're just about out of the mountains and heading down into Nevada to eventually, not tonight, but on the next episode, to get ourselves down into southern Utah for a little something that has yet to be totally organized. All right, here we go. Turning 135, 54 nautical miles. The ugly part of Idaho. Well, yeah. If you like the mountains, it gets into the flatlands there, and it's different, that's for sure. That is for sure. Okay, what'd I say, 135-ish for 54 nautical miles. Just a lazy left-hand turn back to the southeast. And here's the hard part, though, about this is we're just about, I mean, we're kind of running out of mountains and things like that, which is what I base a lot of my navigation on. And so that's going to be a little trickier. We're going to probably have to use some VORs at this point. So what do I have next? I think I have a bunch to choose from here, or at least a few to choose from. So we're going to end up down here. Our next, and let me show you. This is going to be the first hugely challenging part. So we just went past this dam. We're heading out here. We're going to intersect the Snake River, and so that's not going to be hard to find. And then we're going to try to make our way down here. We're going to follow the Snake River probably a little bit and get past this power plant and kind of head straight down here. We want to stay out of the airspace if we can, even though we really don't have any air traffic control online, and there's some restricted, there's some MOAs and stuff over here that if we can just stay kind of out of that business, I think we'll be in good shape. So but anyway, we're trying to find Buell. So maybe what we need to do is just figure out if we've got a VOR that we can tune. We do have Twin Falls. It looks like 15.8, and it'll be just right off there like 280. So let's put 15.8 and 280 in there, and we'll just have that in our back pocket. I don't know if we'll quite have that tuned just yet. 15.8, yeah, we do. And 280. Let me stay on course here. That's what happened last time. I drifted too far to the east. And I'm already being pushed that way with the wind, so I do need to kind of be cognizant of that. Okay, 250. And we'll check in with the rest of the crew here and see how they did. See how they made out down at, no, not 250, 280.
Hello.
Did the person took off that? The
Yeah.
person- How many minutes has it been?
15, 20.
Yeah, oh, so, yeah, there is a highway. Highway 30, that's a good call. 4-day for me. Yep, Highway 30 kind of runs right down here and should take us right by where we're needing. So we'll follow once we get to the Snake River. We'll follow the river, and then we should see I'm guessing there's going to be a nice bridge right there for Highway 30, and we'll follow it down. That's a good call. We may have to drop some altitude. In fact, I think we could. The MSE at that area is like 4,700. It does climb back up again, though, so I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. Oh boy, here I am wandering lazily through. All right, so let me check in with the rest of the guys and see how it went there at Smith Prairie. So guys, how many guys landed down there at Smith Prairie, and how'd it go?
Well, pretty good. I landed and swapped planes cruising now behind you in a Texan.
Reeling me in, I'm sure.
Are you behind him?
Doing
I don't think
86
so.
knots.
I feel like he's Branson last.
Oh, I am in last. No?
So. Oh, who's ERA 78?
That's Rob.
I am in front.
Oh, okay. A little behind Rob.
Alright. Yep, I'm
Yeah,
definitely...
Brant is in the caboose. I
There I
managed to
am.
pass him up even now too.
There
and
I
was-
am. Yep.
Well, I'm struggling to keep it at 85 knots.
Okay, well, that's kind of the way it goes, and I understand that, but again, that's not a huge deal for me. I kind of slow is good because it just means extra time in the plane and extra time flying around and having fun. So I'm all right with that. Let me see if I can get my... See you later, Anderson Ranch Reservoir. Yep, you can see I'm really crabbing. So probably if I'm wanting to hold a 135 heading, I need to be or a 135. I want to be going more like a 140 heading. I do have a kind of a nice drift calculator. I wonder if I can find that.
Crop circles.
I had a good one that I found when I was doing my flight in the, yeah, there it is. Okay, so if you guys ever are interested, this is a really nice little drift calculator. I'll put a link here in the chat. And so like right now, I mean, I don't know the wind per se, but if I was able to get the wind, let's say I was able to tune something in and get the wind, I could do a little bit of calculation here. So my active sky is telling me, and of course you wouldn't really know this unless you were tuning in ATIS, but it's telling me that my airspeed, oh wait a second, hold on, my wind direction is 97. That just changed on me. Yeah, my wind speed is about, no, my wind direction, sorry, is 165. My wind speed is
Took off from,
9er.
fuel to Uniform
My
fuel
course,
standard.
I would like my course to be 135. My true airspeed right now is almost 80, not quite 80. So in order to hold that, I need to be actually flying a heading of 138, and I'm only making a ground speed of 72. So yeah, that's a nice little tool though, and it comes in handy. Yeah, I was wanting to go, what I say my distance was 54. So this even gives me, yeah, so this is going to be a 45-minute leg. Yeah, I forgot about that little tool. All right, so the bottom line, I need to try to hold a 138 heading. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's a nice tool. Oh yeah, very cool. Very cool. Oh, I'm climbing to 10,000. I don't want to do that. No wonder I'm not making very good ground speed here. All right, so this I think is a little spit of a creek that comes out of the Las Carnes Reservoir. For some reason, I feel like that's kind of it. Or maybe we're on it. But now I'm going to start to... I need to nose down and get back down to 9,500. If I'm going to pick up some of these little small waypoints, I need to not be up at 10,000. I should actually be going... maybe I've already passed it. Las Carnes. Not sure. Not 100% sure. I am picking up some gusts now. I'm starting to get shoved around a little bit. And so as the heat of the day, you know, now it's almost 10 o'clock in my adjusted sim time. So now, of course, the world is warming up, and so you're going to get a little bit more of that thermal activity. You know, the winds tend to pick up a little bit as the day heats up as well. So not unexpected totally. Really like this plane, by the way. This is a, like I say, it's a Carenado plane, but it has a mod from NH Adrian, and it really has. I mean, he bushifies it basically. He gives it all the scratches, and you know, you see the dirt and grime on the windows, and the big bush tires on it. You know, it comes with some. I have the noise canceling headphones on right now, but gives you. I don't have the muffler, but there's a muffler you can put on it as well. And anyway, just makes it a really fun, different plane to fly. Yeah, why do I feel like this little creek valley is the one that comes out of Las Carnes, which that's good. That means we're heading in the right direction, basically. It's just confirmation. I'm maybe slipping a little too far to the south, but let me get back on that. This is kind of what I'm seeing, guys. Here's that Las Carnes, and there's this little creek that comes out here, and probably a little road, looks like, here off of Highway 20 that we can follow down in the general direction. I mean, it's not completely where we want to go, but it gets us down there. Oops, now I've dropped a little too low. You're already 93 miles to Juniper?
Correct.
Man, you made some good time, boy.
That's the slowest plane I have. Cruising at 107.
Hey, for any of you guys that are planning on going to the event tomorrow, I apologize for interrupting now, but we're gonna have to manually set the weather to clear tomorrow because it's supposed to be pretty marginal in the Seattle.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yep, tomorrow's gonna be a set sim to clear, no active sky tomorrow.
Gonna be taking out my new Carenado B58.
Seattle's going to be very much aware of our presence. A couple of their controllers have already talked.
Cool. Well, I was running kind of red line there for a little while. I don't need to be doing that. Again, maybe have a few more options to land now that we're down here in the flatter country, but not a good spot to get hung up. Okay, well, we're looking for kind of an unnamed creek that comes out of Las Carnes, and then a offshoot dirt road, it looks like, for that comes off of Highway 20. I think generally speaking we're in that right direction here, and yeah, I think we're getting there. There's a 7,400 foot peak off to our west that...
How often does X-Plane update? I know,
I have no idea.
You know, I've fallen down below 8,500 almost here. I don't know that I need to climb back up all the way back up to 9,500, but I think we'll at least try to arrest our descent here for a little bit. I am not seeing a 7,400 foot peak over here, that's for sure. Unless we went by it, unless that's it over there. But that's kind of, yeah, I guess that could be it. One of those amongst that little hillside. Yep, definitely windy down here. And it's unusual to have an easterly wind. I don't think it's too unusual to have a southerly wind like we're having, but we're essentially just right into the wind right now, I think. Just kicking our butt as far as ground speed's concerned. But I don't know that there is anything we can do about that. Looking at active sky, if we were able to climb up to 12,000, we could get a 234, which would at least be a little off our right-hand side, not totally in our face. But right now, yeah, we're just 165 at Niner, so we're just kind of gonna slug it out with the wind, really, for the rest of the probably the rest of the flight, honestly. That's okay. My current location is I would have to say almost you know, probably just northeast of Boise. No, I wouldn't even say that. This is Mountain Home. Probably due east of Mountain Home right now. You thinking about jumping in here? Joining for the last little bit there? Cool. Yeah, you could spawn in at Mountain Home or Glenn's Ferry. Uniform 89 is something that's coming up, I think, pretty close anyway. Gooding, Gulf November Golf is another airfield that's in that neighborhood. Or if you wanted, you could do the private strip S bar, which is ID 09er. So lots of options. Nothing but options for you, Mr. Downwind Sim, which, by the way, he'll probably be streaming here in VR. Not that I want anybody to to leave me, but if you want to check out VR, that's a cool stream as well. So could definitely do that. Yeah, this is Chucker country and Hungarian partridge country, I think. Interesting territory. Probably have pheasants out here too. Alright, there we just passed over a pretty good river. What did we just pass, my friends? Oops, I'm going a little too far to the south. What did we just pass? We can't be... That can't be the Snake River already, is it? We're not that far just yet. "31 miles. That, gosh dang, that might have been the... that might have been the Snake River. Alright, well, there's only one way to find out. We do have the ability to tune in from the Liberator VOR 1490 and the roughly, what would that be? What would that be? About a 84 outbound. Let's just see. Maybe that was it. It's a pretty prominent river, that's for sure. Alright, spin it around to 84. Where are you, 84? Well, geez, Luis, yeah, that might have been it. Okay, so if that's the case, then, my friends, we need to make a turn. We need to follow that river. Follow that river. So I'm going to turn a little bit more to the east. I'm actually going to maybe turn a little bit. I think if we just stay east, we'll be okay. So the Snake River does come back through and kind of intercept where we're heading. And again, just to confirm where we're at. Uniform 48 and then the Snake River. Yeah, so yeah, no, Uniform 89. Yeah, I should be. I'm attempting to get back on the river there, downwind sim. I think that's going to be. I'll be overflying you here shortly. Yeah, now where did it go? It's kind of disappearing on me here. It's kind of playing hide and seek. All right, there we go. I believe that is actually our Snake River. So what we need to do now is be on the lookout for Glenn's Ferry, and at Glenn's Ferry, that's when we'll pick up our friend Downwind Sim. And also now we're looking for highway, what did we say? Highway 30. So Highway 30 kind of parallels on the north side here of the river, and then it'll cut across and start heading south. When it starts to head south, we need to follow that into Buell. And then again, Buell, we'll go back to the Twin Falls VOR. That's 1580. And we were estimating that at about a 280 outbound radial. Again, just kind of having that in for reference, since this is a pretty new area to be flying in and just not a lot of prominent terrain features, unfortunately, other than the Snake River, which we almost missed. so that just shows to go right there. Heading into the sun. Yeah, may need my Ray-Bans on. Nah, we're good. Yep, it's been a vast, especially after everybody landed. There's been a lot of different aircraft that have been involved in this flight for only 7 or 8 guys. Here's a little community here. I wonder if we can pick up kind of where we think we are. This could potentially be Glenn's Ferry, I guess. Glenn's Ferry lies to the north of the river, which that does. It kind of has a little bit of a turn, a little bend. The river kind of heads up to the north, or a little northeastish, and should have an airfield on this near side. Downwind sim binoculars here. Not negative contact with the airfield though, so that maybe not what we're looking at here. Okay. Well, we're on the river, and if we don't end up picking up the road, if we don't end up picking up Highway 30, which again, here's Highway 30, when the river starts to shoot directly east, that's when we can drop down. We should have the airfield in sight, the Buell airfield in sight. And then I think from there, it's going to be a little bit of a nice leg. We'll come down here, we'll pick up this reservoir, the Salmon Falls Reservoir. That'll take us into Jackpot, and then from Jackpot, that last 40-mile leg, it'll be a little bit iffy, but there is this little seasonal lake, and then there's a nice little mountain range right here that hopefully we can be able to pick up. And this town, this ranch right here, it renders on the ortho pretty nicely. So we're getting there. We are getting there. All right, here we go. The Snake River kind of winding its way down a little bit more to the south. We're slowly just giving away some altitude here to gain some airspeed. As I'm looking at it, there are some fairly tall terrain features in some of the areas that we're going to, but we're going to be able to go in between, so we don't necessarily need to be up above everything like we were in the mountains. So I'll happily trade a little bit of altitude for some airspeed. Engine's working a little less hard that way. Big wind farm down there, looks like. Well, not a big wind farm, but a wind farm. Is that rendered anywhere? Is that noted on the sectional? Yep, it is. So I think we're right in this area here. So we're getting close to where we want to we should see Highway 30 cross the Snake River right here. And so yeah, we're getting close. I think we're getting close. The calculator was saying 45 minutes or so. We're on 28 minutes right now, so we maybe are making a little better time than initially we were, so that might explain it. Oh, Steve PHL landed at Glenn's Ferry. Cool. Very cool. That's right, we're down when Sim took off. So we missed that, dang it. I was looking, but just didn't do a very good job of paying attention for that. Sorry, guys. All right, get the coffee going when you get there, okay? Because we'll be needing a little something.
I'll have it ready. Just black, no cream and sugar.
That's all I need, man. Yeah, that's a bigger wind farm than I thought initially. All right, are we seeing where the road is crossing over? I don't know if we are quite yet. But again, as the Snake River starts to...
Alright, well, I just had a runtime error.
Oh no! Dang it, man.
Yeah, this is starting to remind myself why I don't like doing long flights. And it's not on you guys. I know it's on me.
Yeah, just spawn up in one of those airfields nearby and jump right in like nothing happened. Nobody saw nothing.
Well, unfortunately, I do gotta get some work done. So
Alright.
I think I'll call it a night. And if I have time after I'm finished, I'll hop back on.
Alright, sounds good. Appreciate you flying along. Sorry that your sim was being funky, but yeah, happy to have you. We'll see you next time. Good luck with your list, your to-do list.
Thanks. Yeah, I gotta finish writing an essay, and then
Ooh.
look at some statistics and analytical data.
I remember those days.
If I finish that, then I'll be able to...
I remember those days.
It's on a camera shot analysis.
So anyway,
Some funky
like I was
thing.
saying, as soon as the Snake River stops heading
Alright, well,
south
have a good
and
night, guys. I'll pop back in
turns
later.
east, that's kind of when that's our cue to head south as well.
Adios.
And with any luck, when we do that, we'll start to pick up that VOR as confirmation, because it looks to me like, you know, we're still, maybe that's, I don't know if that's a ridge line or if that's the river tracking to the east, and that's kind of what... Oh, wait, here we go. Is this where the... Yeah, that might be where the highway crosses the river, so let's just keep our eyeballs on that. There's a little airstrip down there. I remember that airstrip. I just about modeled that. Oh no, there's one down here by one of these dams. That's not what I was thinking, guys. Never mind. Oh, that may also be Ziggy's. No, that's a little further to the east. Sorry, guys. Downwind's getting ready to depart. Did you miss anything? Nope, except for I think I flew over Glenn's Ferry without... I was looking for it, but I didn't see it. And I think Steve PHL landed there as well, so he may be ready to depart with you, my good friend. Wonder down there, something like that. Is that like a dirt bike track or something? Somebody's having some fun down there on that hillside. Man, how great is Ortho? Jeez Louise. If there was a way to kind of keep those poorly done auto-gen roads out of there, man, that would really be something. Alright, I'm thinking that's where Highway 30 crosses, so I think we need to just follow along here. And I think our general heading here is gonna get us where we need to be. Yeah, Steve, it's awesome. I was talking to Downwind Sim, and it's I know there's going to come a point where we, I would appreciate that, Steve, so much. I mean, there's a time and place where it's nice to have that because it's nice to have the traffic and stuff, um, but in general, like with stuff like that, I would love to just be rid of it. That way I don't have to make exclusion zones in every single scenery um, that I make. But anyway, the conversation with Downwind was, are we going to look at this in 5 years and say, man, how did we think that was realistic? That was so poorly done. But I know that's the way it's going to be, because whenever we, when Orbix started doing their thing with, with their Pacific Northwest meshes and everything, it was all like, wow, that's so awesome. But it was compared to the old wire mesh stuff that we used to have, and now this, of course, is photoreal, and it has the 3D effects, and it's just that next level. And so what will Flight Sim 2020 bring that makes this look awful? Who knows? But I love it. I love it. I've said it many times. Keep the competition up. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. All right. Well, I think we're going to bid adieu to the Snake River. We are not going to go down into the canyon and see that spot that Downwind Sim was talking about, where Evil Knievel tried to launch over the top of it all those years ago. We're going to keep going this way and following. Did I lose my? I might be right on the actual road. We're going to try to follow Highway 30, which your guess is as good as mine with all these farm roads where Highway 30 is, but for the most part, I think if we just stay, actually, we just stay about 140, I think we're going to be okay. We're looking for the Buell airfield, which should be fairly, I would hope, fairly prominent. Of course, I just flew over Glenn's Ferry, which is a similar sized airport. So, yeah, there's that. If we miss Buell, then we're gonna turn south and try to come up, see if we can hit that Salmon Falls Creek Reservoir. There's also Cedar Creek Reservoir down there that we should be able to find. I say should. Here comes the VOR, so I think we're in the neighborhood. And if we're not right on the top of it, I'm not, brokenhearted here, but we're 36 minutes. We were estimating about 47 minutes, so I mean, we're going to be within 5 or less minutes. So I think that's probably all right. Here looks like maybe a town of maybe, nope, just well, maybe it could be a little township. Yeah, there is actually a town over here. Town of, hoping that's the town of Buell, which means that I'm kind of getting close to where I need to be, which is a good thing. But again, I may be too close. I might be overflying the airstrip. So I'm going to turn a little bit further to the south just to make sure. See some, definitely a town looking area. Interesting. I don't really see much else out here on the sectional. That's got to be Buell. Our VOR would tell us that we're in the neighborhood as well. So getting there. We'll just stay on about a 140. We've been correcting for the wind a little bit, so that was a better correction, I think, this time. Obviously, finding the Snake River helped. Glad we made that turn. Yeah, that's got to be the town of Buell. Definitely not seeing an airfield though. Oh, yes I am. There it is, right down under our wing. Very cool. Okay. We have Buell, uniform Oscar 3 in sight, and from here it's a 154
Hey, it's
for
that guy.
38 miles. I'll wing wag for you there, Mike. Hello. Okay, 154, 38 nautical miles, and actually with the wind, we're going to call it about 160-ish. And we are looking for this is going to be a tougher find now, guys. So, here we are at Buell, and we're looking for this. It's a north-south running reservoir, so it's going to be a little trickier to find. This Cedar Creek is off to the west, so between the two of them, we should be okay to find that. Now, the other thing about this that should help is the terrain starts to kind of rise over here to the west, so we don't want to get too far west because we don't want to get caught on the wrong side of this ridge line. And then there is a nice 8,600 foot mountain with some towers on it here as well that we could keep at our 12 o'clock, and that should get us. I mean, in theory, if you aim for the towers, you're going to kind of, kick a field goal between the two reservoirs, so that should get us pretty close anyway. JPC, what's up? Oh, Sharon is highlighted Discord link again. Yep, check it out. If you just tuned in, we've got quite a few people watching. If you are new though, wondering what we're doing, one of the things that we have coming up is the event on Friday that JPC talked about. There's a link to the Virtual USA Flying Club. Definitely worth checking out. And we'll give you more details on what we've got, but suffice it to say, we're going to try to mess up FNO with a bunch of GA planes yesterday. Tomorrow night is the night, right? Yep, tomorrow night, Friday night. Do I have the right night? Today's Thursday. I've lost track of what day it is. Kenny Monster saying tough. That's not tough. Land of Corsair, Minnesota 74. That must be Wells, right? That's the field I'm hopefully that'll be my destination field at the end of the year, is Wells Field in Minnesota. That's again a requested field by our friend Kenny Monster. Looking forward to trying to make my way up there, but it takes a little time. Needless to say, especially when you head down and play for a couple of days down in the Utah Canyonlands. So, but I think we'll have a chance to get there. My voice is starting to fade just a bit here. I need to get back on that 160 heading. Oh, by the way, 38 nautical miles. We're doing about, again, 80-ish, so half of 38 is 19. Give me another half of 19. That's about another 10, so 48. About 29 minutes or so. Oh, Wells is 68 Yankee. Mike November 78 is B&D Flyers Club. Ooh, cool. I actually would like to do a float plane event up in Minnesota. That's just a huge float plane area. Lots of lakes, of course. That's what they're famous for. So, Steve says, by the way, he's going to show me how to get rid of the AutoGen roads. You just have to make a semi-transparent road texture. Yep, cool. Well, I did, one of the things that was really cool about the Bush League event on Friday was I saw my first ever highway patrolman that was on the AutoGen roads. I thought at first I saw the flashing lights, and I thought there was an aircraft that was down super low. And when I watched it for a while, I realized it was actually a highway patrolman that had been simulated, and it was flying. I mean, it was going twice as fast as the rest of the traffic, and it was really a cool little feature. So I mean, I don't want to get rid of that kind of stuff, but some of it just looks so, like this stuff doesn't look too bad. For the most part, it follows, you know, follows where the lanes are, but then you get to the curves, and that's when it just has a lot of problems. So I'd just rather have it look like a dirt bank, and you know, or this kind of stuff. I'm not, you know, very rarely do I need super accurate, you know, highways and traffic and all that good stuff. Ooh, this is a cool looking little, yeah, cool. All right, I'm looking forward to it, Steve. This is a cool little valley. Look at this sucker. I wonder if we're closing in on this business right here. See how we have this like little dashed area here? I wonder if that's kind of what that's indicating. It's a little bit of a valley area. That's awesome. So we pick up this little last little piece here, and that should lead us right, basically right to the Salmon Falls Creek Reservoir. All right, very good, very good. I like that. We're going to follow that a little bit here and see. That's pretty awesome, actually. I'm going to stay to the right of it so we can check it out. I suppose I could also tune in, since I do have this is still Twin Falls, right? 1580. Yep, I could tune this in just to see. It looks like 191 gets us more or less over the lake. So I could do that, I suppose. 191. There's 190. All right, 191. We'll call that, whoops. Call that 191-ish right there. But I'm feeling like this canyon is going to lead us down to kind of where we need to go. And then again, we're looking for, off to our west, we're looking for the terrain to kind of rise up, which is kind of what we're seeing here. So we want to stay east of that. And you know, then we get into like a little bit of a terrain feature where it just sort of guides us down the direction that we want to go. We are looking for it's called the Jackpot Hayden 06 Uniform Airfield as our next waypoint. And then that's it. Now we've got one more leg of 42 miles and we're there, guys. So we're going to be we're going to be pretty close to that 3 hour, maybe a little bit longer than 3. We had a little bit of a headwind, but a couple of the guys made it in just about 2 hours. So that's a pretty good day's work. And again, I would encourage you, if you just joined us, we flew from the Johnson Creek area in Idaho, and we flew past some really fun little airstrips that Downwind Sim has created. So Downwind, I'm saying this while you're on stream now, so you don't get freaked out and wonder who all these people are. But I've been encouraging folks to go and reach out to you via Discord to see about maybe getting a hold of a copy of Atlanta and Weatherby
How
and
fast does that Husky go, Mike?
all those guys.
I've been holding 100 knots indicated. It could probably go a little bit faster, but I don't see a reason to.
Yeah, I'm only going 105. I don't know why I'm so far ahead.
But anyway, so Downwind, if people reach out, I did tell them to do that, just because I knew we were flying past some pretty cool spots up there, and I didn't want to just leave them with, you know, no one ever knowing about them. Monument Peak, by the way, can we see Monument Peak? I don't think we can. I think that's a little too far away. That's off to our east. We do have a... Yeah, that's not for just a little while. All right, I almost feel like I'm seeing a reservoir here, guys.
Is that you landing at Jackpot, Steve?
I actually think I'm going to land. Oops.
Yeah, I can just barely see you in the distance.
I actually think I'm going to land at Jackpot as well because I need to visit the FBO there at Jackpot. I heard it's really, really nice.
Alright, I guess I'll nose her down and take a quick touch and go, or stop landing.
Yep.
Get caught.
Yeah, I just need a minute. I thought I could make it, but I just need one little last break here before. So that's just right past this reservoir, by the way. And it looks like it's a 5,200 foot elevation. And what do we know about Jackpot Reno here? Jackpot Hayden Field. We've got, does have a beacon, cool. Runway 15 and 33. Does it have any kind of an AWAS or anything? I don't think it probably does. Whoa, wait, oh yeah, it does. 12, by telephone. Well, let's try 120 or 120.0. Let's see if we pick anything up. Sometimes it's fun to just try that stuff just to see. No, definitely not. So
Kilo Tango Whiskey Foxtrot Airport information Oscar 2353 Zulu weather wind 168 at 19er gusting to 24 visibility 10 sky clear temperature 18 dew point -4 altimeter 3012 advice on.
Alright, so that's not Hayden, Jackpot Hayden, but that's close to Jackpot Hayden. So the main thing is just the winds continue to be out of the south, so we can land essentially straight in. The closest place to gamble, by the way, if you live in Boise. Ah, I see what they've done there. Yeah. So, alright, so we'll put down there. It'd be good for us to have a practice landing anyway before we make our last little hop and see if we can wear out any of the rubber on these fat tires on the, I think it's an asphalt runway. Almost positive. Set that. Yep, asphalt in fair condition. Alright, good deal. That will work. This is a cool little canyon. I almost thought we had an airstrip there. We've got airstrip fever, baby. So, bush pilots. Oops, getting a text here. What? So let's just say, because we don't know, but let's just say that Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 manages to live up to the hype, and let's just say that they figure out a way. Again, it's theoretical here. Live Fly Guy, hey, thanks for the host. Welcome everybody. We're cruising down here into Juniper, Nevada. We're about to play How Much Would You Pay for Microsoft Flight Sim? It's a new game I'm introducing on the stream, but how's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Welcome to Prop Culture, and welcome to the kind of the bush hooligans making their way from the mountains of Idaho down into Nevada, and low and slow and just having a good time. It's been a beautiful day of flying, and it's good to have everybody coming in there. I'm a big fan of your stream, Live Fly Guy, so I appreciate you stopping by. It's always nice to see you and your buddies. So anyway, yeah, the cavalry is here. Kenny, you are correct. They're gonna witness probably a fairly mediocre landing right off the bat. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Appreciate the, let's see, runway 371. Thanks for the follow. Thank you as well, Panzit, for the follow. I have to cough. I'm fighting a bit of a little something. Actually, I'm fighting a man cold. It's very serious. It's worse than coronavirus, and that's just science. That's not me. That's science. But the problem is, I've been sipping on water all stream long, and I'm not going to make it all the way down to where I wanted to make it. I'm not going to make it all the way to Juniper without a stop. So we're closing in on a little airfield called Jackpot Hayden, and we're going to, with any luck, we're going to find it first of all, because the reservoir I thought I was finding, and actually it's not turning out to be the reservoir quite yet. But if I have to, I'm going to land on one of these farmers' fields and use some sagebrush. If I'm not above that. I've got the Bush tires for Pete's sake, so I might as well. But anyway, we'll have to take just a quick pit stop, and then we'll be back for our last leg into Juniper, Nevada. So good to have the rest of you guys along. Hope you enjoy. Feel free to mingle amongst yourself. It's an awesome group of aviators that we have.
Melvin?
I think I am just about to the north end of the Salmon Falls Creek Reservoir, and yes, I do believe. And so my plan is to land at Jackpot Hayden and take just a little quick stop, and then make that last leg.
Okay, thank you.
So anyway, I lost my train of thought, but happy to have you along. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, mostly GA stuff, mostly bush flying stuff, with the occasional accidental trip into a vintage airline. And if you caught the last Flight Sim Bests, you kind of see how well it turns out for me when I hop in the L1011. But at least it's entertaining, I guess. Yeah. Just grabbed a beer at Jackpot. Got that funny look as I headed back to the plane. Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, what the point I was making, and I can only have this conversation with fellow off-field / backcountry enthusiasts, is let's just say, for somehow, way, shape, or form, that Flight Sim 2020 manages to model every backcountry strip. I mean, I know they put the announcement out that they were going to model every airport. Whatever. Okay, whatever. But let's just say they nail it. Let's just say every backcountry strip looks legit, follows the terrain. It's the right, it's dirt if it's dirt, it's turf if it's turf, it's gravel if it's gravel, it's whatever. It's got the sagebrush growing. It's got the trees where it's supposed to be. Let's say they get that part right. Let's say every single one of the, what are there, 50,000, turf and backcountry. Let's just say they get all of those right. How much would you be willing to pay monthly subscription for a simulator that would do that? I'm going to put the over under at $49.95. How many would pay $50 a month if you could legit hop in your plane, your bush plane, and fly to any other, and I mean any bush, Johnson Creek, Weatherby, Juniper, where we're going, Wellsfield, Bayport, any of those strips that are not the big asphalt, the ones that we like. What would you pay? Would you pay that? Steve's saying $20. $20 a month. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I would pay 50 a month to have that. I think I would. I spend $50 on probably cheeseburgers at McDonald's a month. I don't know. I think I would pay that if they got it right. I'm not just saying they're there and they're like the little default rectangles that we see, but like if they got it right. I don't know. Would there still be trees in the middle of the runways like in stock? No, but there will be the prerequisite 50-foot tall spruce tree on final that you have to navigate. That's an Orbic special that they will carry over. I think you could get a lot of money out of people if you rendered that. And I'm not saying that London Heathrow is not important and Boston Logan is not important, because I'd like to fly out of those places too. But I think you'd be surprised at how many people would shell over some pretty good dough. Maybe 50 a month is too much, but I think you'd have there's a bigger audience out there than maybe the Navigraph subscription suggests that would really pay a lot of money if these off the beaten path airfields were rendered correctly. All right, enough chit chat. I got to get myself ready to go because I should have Jackpot Hayden coming up here, and it's a 5,200 foot. So I'm trying to get down to pattern altitude here, and I think I'm gonna maybe just try to come straight in if I can. Make a call, make sure no one's in the area. And Jackpot Hayden traffic, November 11816, approximately 5 miles north of the airfield. We're going to be inbound runway 18 just straight in. Jackpot. Now I say that I still haven't found the airfield, but I'm just judging off of where I'm at. I think I'm in that neighborhood. Let's level off here at 7,000. We may have to fly a pattern just because we need to find the airfield first, but oh, you didn't hear me? No, that is 2280. Did I get disconnected from voice or something? Because I actually haven't heard you guys in a while. I'm going to disconnect and reconnect my X-Pilot. I might also be still too far away. I might not be as far or as close as I think I am. But, well, yeah, actually, no, I think maybe I'm further. Yeah, geez. I might not quite be there. Victor, let's see, 269. All right, hold the phone here, guys. I'm gonna work off of the Twin Falls 177. Puts me just about over the top, so I may not be as far as I think I am, guys. Yeah, that's the problem. And Jackpot Reno radio check. Well, disregard. I'm not where I think I am.
I'm not hearing you.
That means I'm more than 20 miles away. All right. Yeah, I'm not quite as far as I thought I was, guys, so never mind. Disregard that last call.
According to VATSPY, you're like right on us.
Oh.
So yeah, I would check
Well,
your aeroplane.
Let's see. Comms are...
Check your frequency, maybe.
Yep. And radio check, 1212. Maybe I've lost my radio.
Still nothing.
Well, okay. I have lost comms somehow.
You're gonna have to no radio it, buddy.
What's the airport landing at?
Jackpot Hayden. 06 uniform.
That was November Victor.
Yeah, we're
All right.
taking a break at 06 uniform real quick because I think Brand has to use the men's room.
Yeah, I think I maybe see the
We
field.
are gonna go to November Victor 1.
This might be the field.
2 of us are almost there already.
Alright. I'm thinking that might be it right here. Alright, well we're gonna... So I guess the proper thing then would be to overfly the field. Make sure there's no traffic since I don't have any radio. And then enter a pattern. So real life pilot, if I lose my radio like that, then is the proper thing to do to overfly the field and enter a left-hand traffic pattern for runway 18.
I mean, It would be the courteous thing to do, but because it's an uncontrolled field, you technically don't even need radios to go into this.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure that I found the field, so I'm definitely going to just fly over and get into a left-hand pattern here if it is indeed the field. If not,
I see you in the distance, so I imagine that you found it.
yeah. If not, I'm going to
I
land
just
in the farmer's
fucking
field
crashed
and
as
just.
I was approaching Juniper.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. You should maybe respawn in November 6-7 and fly to Juniper.
Mother freaking hell. Just as I was freaking out, I wonder if it has anything to do with the airport that I put in.
Oh no. Alright, so is this indeed the airport?
I definitely see you in the distance, Brant, so...
Looks like we should be close. So the VOR is saying we're close. I see a bunch of houses and such that would indicate an establishment, and this does look airportish.
Near Juniper.
Yeah, that does look airportish, doesn't it? Yes, indeed. All right, so
There is a private strip
yeah,
Called November Vic.
just to the east. So hold on, there's a private strip just to the east of Juniper.
pretty big.
02
all right.
uniform
So we are
10.
going to
Where you have
go ahead and just enter a left-hand pattern.
02 uniform tank.
or you could do 3.
And we need 6,200 for the pattern altitude right now.
Tango T.
All right. So here we go, everybody that just came over from
What was that again? Say it again. You got me confused.
in the raid.
02
Was watching a real pilot
uniform
be able to land his
tank.
plane. You're gonna watch the
02.
other version, what the other guys do. All right, here we go. Got a notch of flaps in. Let's get the airspeed
Should
kind
be
of under
called
control.
Loosen.
We are definitely transmitting, but no one's hearing us. So that's weird.
Me, it's 39 uniform.
We'll get on the left downwind for 1.8 or 1.9. I can't remember exactly what it was, but be on the downwind. There we go.
15.
1.5.
If I go in X-plane when it
Oh
says
boy.
resume last
All
flight,
right.
what will it do?
Spawn you back at the
It would
airfield
take
that
you
you.
to the beginning where you start to take off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a bummer.
I think it's a flight's like if you crash.
All right.
you
So we
will
can
stop
go
from the position you are.
left base.
I think that's
I didn't see any traffic down there, so we're just going to kind of maintain visual separation, as it were. I am clearly not a real
If
pilot,
you
so
want to
I
try
don't
searching it with the actual
understand.
name to spell it out, it's
Oh, boy.
Lucin.
Might be a little tight
Lucin.
here, but that's okay.
Try
Second notch of
39er
flaps coming
uniform.
in. Slow down, baby. Slow down. We're a little high, but I think we can do this.
Yep, 39er uniform.
True Bush fashion. We've got a lot of runway to work with here, so we'll just bring it around. Turn it final 1.5. Ooh, not a very good rollout. Alright, shaky, 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 as always. We'll bleed that off. Almost want to land in the grass, don't want to scuff up my tires. Yeah, the ortho doesn't exactly line up with the auto-genned airport, but and don't see any buildings either, unfortunately.
You would set it
Alright, down we go.
as
Pretty aggressively. Way down, unfortunately.
from
but
custom
that's okay, too.
metar.wrx file, and then you have to find the .wrx.
I mean, Exosky doesn't do it automatically?
No, you have to set it in the sim the way I just said. So when you go to your weather
Hold it
configuration in X-Plane,
Alright.
I just did.
Poor and late flare. Yeah, I would.
Now I find
I don't think it was a
Customize,
late flare. I
or
think I actually flared
customize.
way too early.
from custom metar.rwx
Alright.
file, and it should be in your X-Plane main folder.
Let's pull off. Let's take just a quick break here.
Yeah, what do I put
I
in?
will be right back momentarily.
metar.wrx. Or RWX, excuse me. metar.rwx. It should be in the X-Plane base.
Yeah, I got it.
and then that's how it's gonna take from active sky and put it into the sim.
Ah, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Captain speaking. Please be seated for the landing in Juniper. Brought to you by American Airlines.
I don't know if American's gonna be flying into there.
Thanks for your patience, everybody. So I've had some sort of comm failure here.
The solar,
I'm gonna go ahead and
Juniper's
just
the runway's pretty, not that
cruise
wide.
back to the start and take off.
Not at all.
All right, guys. So apparently I have my radios have failed, so I'm gonna be radioless. But just wanted to let you know that I'm at Jackpot, departing for the last leg there, and yeah, curious to see anybody who has flown in there, how it looks, and how the approach and all that good stuff was.
Juniper. Was it Juniper? I guess his name was.
Hey, firm.
I have a one side that's a little bit mountainous approach from the left side.
Yep.
Which is runway, I believe, 825. Not sure.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the other side is a little bit more flatter. I came from there, from that side.
What did you say that Lucen was? 3 something? 9er?
All right. Let's see here. I don't see anybody else, do I? Or is there a plane down there? Yep, there is a plane down there getting ready to take off. Somebody down here. Maybe that's Mike. Mike, was that you waiting for me down there at Jackpot?
It's me and Steve.
Nice. You guys are the best. Yep, there's Steve. There was.
Anyway, I'm gonna take off
That
from
had to be
Toronto,
Mike because he did a
heading towards where you guys are
husky
making your
takeoff
landing.
roll of
Let's see.
about 12 feet. Oh. I'm all over the place on the taxi here. Sorry, guys.
That was me, just for reference.
Dang it. Cannot stop coughing. I think he must be doing a run-up or something. I'm going to go ahead. Since I'm the slowest, I'm going to not wait.
With active sky setting changes failed to initialize UDP network input.
Do I have active sky settings? Is that what you're asking me? 4-day for me? Yes, I do. I just have right now it's set to real world weather. And whatever, I don't think I have anything crazy turned on as far as, you know, cloud settings and things like that. I am running a kind of a knockoff version of Active Sky Cloud Art, but there's just not much. Like right now, literally, it's the weather. It's clear. It's beautiful. Okay, without radio, runway 16. We're gonna go a notch of flaps. We're gonna make sure that everything else is up and on and ready to go. Yep, mixture full rich. Off we go. Final leg, guys.
You just found it over at Lucen yet?
No.
There's a nice crosswind on the departure here, by the way. Come on, baby. What is the deal? Man, that was a long roll for that plane. I know we are at 5,000 feet, though, so it's still kind of an altitude deal, but okay, let's just take one last peek here. 137 is our heading, and our compasses are lined up pretty good. So with the 137. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We'll just climb up and over here. We've got yeah, right down the chute here, 42 miles. So we're going to put that in the old timer. So that should give us about 25-minute leg, and then we are there. Let's see, who else checked in with us there?
Yep, we're
Goofball
gliding.
Geek. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for the follow.
Yes, airport.
Welcome to
The
Prop
soft
Culture.
is locked in somehow.
Oh, bring the flaps up. Gain some airspeed. And we do need to negotiate a little bit of terrain, it looks like. But on the sectional, it appears to me that we can get in between, you know, these little mountain ranges. Just shoot this gap right here and be good to go. Okay. But let's climb. Altitude is our friend right now. 137. So we're not making 137 very well here, guys. There we go. I may shoot, might have to shoot this gap right here. Yeah, I actually think we'll be okay. We'll stay on 137. She's not a climber. But slow and steady will get you up there. Most of the flight we were at 9,500.
Yes, we're on the way. About 24 minutes out.
Okay, just tell me that you see me. I'm coming from the purchase side because I have no engines out. I just locked it.
Oh no, no engines? Is that what I heard? That's not good. I wonder what's going on with my radios. That's really weird.
I'll pass you already.
Got COM 1 turned on. I don't have a second COM,
That's
or I
great.
would turn that on.
He's
Mike has rushed past me in the Husky again, rudely. There we go. So just not 100% positive what has happened with my radio. Making good power. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, guys. But we'll have to troubleshoot it later on. Looks like we must have somebody at the door upstairs. You ever try to come to my house, watch your ankles. Hey, Chili Willies. How are you, man? How'd your stream go tonight? I thought I saw a notification pop up that you were heading somewhere, doing something fun. Whoops. I'm drifting now a little bit further to the east than I need to. Oh, yesterday? Oh, must have been... do you have replay set up? I don't know. Maybe I just got the notification a little bit late. I'm doing all right. I've kind of been fighting a cold and a little bit under the weather still. But I have a healthy pack of dogs, so what more could a man want? Healthy pack of ankle biters, ready to defend the house and all its snacks.
What on earth is going on?
Oreo, kill. Good
Intruder
boy.
alert or
Good
what?
boy. Well, you know, it's when you spend all day long practicing readiness alert drills like my dog does, with every mailman that walks by. Mom had called to let me know. Anyway, when you practice all day long to be ready when an actual real person shows up and you can like actually implement the drills, the warning drills, well, they aren't warning drills anymore. The actual warning scenarios, you go all in if you're a small dog. You just do. You live for this day. And that's what you just experienced right there. Were you a little bit fearful? Because you should have been. I'm sure there's a major artery down there somewhere that if they get a hold of it, you're done. You're bleeding out in like 6 to 8 hours. So, oh, dogs. I love them. I love them. All right, I've been wandering and meandering, and this is not a time to do that because now I have the least amount of like visual reference points, and so, oh boy. So I really need to be paying attention to what the heck's going on here, and I'm not doing a very good job of that. One thing I can do to help me, though, is I do have a VOR in the neighborhood. It looks to me like I could use that
Do you need to do that each time, Mike?
Vortec, the loosened Vortec.
Nope. You only have to load it
113.6, and we're
change
right
the
off of there.
settings. So
That's
for
us.
example, tomorrow
So
when
there's
you
a
have to
mountain
manually
right there
set
that
the
I'm
sim to
hoping we can
clear,
find.
the next time you go to use the active sky
Like I
after
say,
that,
a
you're
little
gonna
bit
have
of a
to do
lake
that
and a
again.
farm pond and everything that could help us out.
X-Plane,
I'm also
XP,
hoping we
I
can
mean,
see
it's
this
right
Thousand
that
Springs
Metara every
Creek
time you start that
and
up,
follow that little
Yeah, it'll start
wash
pulling from
into where we're
active
going.
sky as soon
And
as
this
you start up.
ranch
Like I said, until
is
you change your settings, and then when you
it
change it
shows
back,
up
you have to go in through
on
that
the
process.
ortho. All right, 13.6 and approximately 260. Put that in just so we know we're in the neighborhood. Sometimes it's worse to know that you're close when you don't see it, but we're gonna still put it in 260. Okay. And again, Juniper 5,400 foot. So how about we just kind of take 7,500 and ride this out for a little bit. The terrain for the most part should lead us in that direction. We do have this is maybe the 8,700 foot peak that we're looking at, that we need to stay kind of to the east of, which we will. That dog, get your big toe. Yeah, it's all over. It is. It's over. So he'll get you down, and then he'll go for the jugular, or he'll take an eye out or something. You're not coming out of there with both eyes. All right, let's bring the power back just a little bit. We do need to lean for maximum performance. Fuel has held up. We did put quite a bit of fuel in there, and I think we're going to be good there. But yeah, starting to get into some kind of interesting country here. You know, we flew for the most part. About the last hour was over some pretty flat terrain, and now we're kind of getting into some almost like foothills again. So this is going to be, the wind was kind of out of the east, but this is a one-way in, one-way out type of airstrip, if I am not mistaken. And again, I've purposely, I made it, and I've spawned there to make sure everything looks pretty good, but I have purposely not flown into or out of it.
Direct illusion.
Just because I wanted to get a kind of a, you know, just that first impression. What was that, downwind?
I said I'm out of Twin Falls direct illusion.
Roger. Yeah, you get to Lucian, and then you basically heading straight out there on about a 260, which is what we have tuned in, right? 260? Yep, that should be it. We're 9 minutes out from
Yeah, I think with it,
Jackpot
probably get
Hayden.
within 10 and probably try to find it.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's. I don't think it should be too tough to find, but then again, you know how I am with navigation. Oh, little dogs, they live for that stuff. I'm telling you, they live for that stuff. And he has to be the man of the house now that my lab. Come here, Oreo. Here, bud. Good boy. Yeah, you scared her. You scared her right into the bathroom. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Dude, I can't pick you up because I can't take my hand off the yoke for a second. Come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Oh goodness. Here it is. This is what death looks like right here. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. All right. He's a. If you're wanting to know what breed he is, he's a miniature direwolf mix. So pretty rare. You know, there were a few left. You know, in Westeros, so we picked one up.
Looks like a grass runway.
A firm.
Thought it was a dirt runway.
Let's just call it turf. So I don't know this time of year what it would be. What does it officially say? It does say, well, I guess officially it says gravel dirt, but I think I don't remember if I rendered it in dirt or what, but it's, yeah, it is that.
Yeah, it's not bright grass. It doesn't look like it.
So runway 7 and runway 25, and like I say, I'm almost positive that you can't really land runway 7. I guess I shouldn't say that, but runway 7, you have this hillside that gets in the way, and you're landing downhill. I think we were going to have to come in and basically make a downwind landing. Wait, upwind landing, tailwind landing. Boy, I'm gasping for power here, too. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm having a hard time. I'm climbing like a Piper Cub right now. Should be the lightest I've been so far. Okay, so we are looking again. I feel like this wash on the sectional should take us, for the most part, past a couple of ranches and where we need to be. Thousand Springs Creek. It doesn't look like a major waterway by any means.
Anybody have X-Men in this, anybody have X-Men they're currently using?
I think we're all using X-Plane.
I think so.
So you know the default Cessna 172, right?
Yes.
For some reason, after the recent X-Wing update, it's just very like some of like the buttons like below like where the yoke area like the flaps are, it's very cloudy on us.
Maybe they mess with it a bit.
Yeah, just go get that Ken Burns or Ken Miles' prop strike mod anyway, and just throw that baby on there, and I should take care of all that stuff.
Isn't it like
If you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just type in prop strike. Find it.
All right, I see. There's a little farm pond.
a landing over here?
All right, so here we go. I think we just found that little farm pond,
Watch your
and
feet.
so we should be able to just kind of continue.
Or left traffic path.
Kind of heads this way, right? So we're going to head that way a little bit. It kind of loops us around, but that's good because that'll allow us to land
Grass is very hard, honestly.
in towards the
Yeah,
west
we're
there,
coming.
2-5. But cool. I'm happy that was in the ortho. That's going to help. And that puts us, like I say, pretty close, like within about, gosh, 10 miles or so, maybe even closer than that. I almost feel like that hill right there is the hill that we're looking for. The airfield is like right kind of on that upslope there, but I'm not 100%. Okay, goofball. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry I couldn't make it all the way without taking a restroom break, or you could have watched me attempt to land at this little patch, this little scratch of dirt. But glad you came by. Have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend if I don't see you. Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming by.
You guys will be leaving right now.
All right. So, looking for a couple of ranches here also, and I haven't been paying attention. We may have already flown past one. There should be a second ranch though that's coming up. There's like 3 ranches in between that little farm pond that we had and Juniper. But I believe we're just going to kind of keep following this general flow, this little wash right here, and kind of it should come around and head back to the west, and we'll be pretty close. If not, we'll intercept that that outbound, and we'll just start to zig and zag until we find it. Yeah, whoever's on Discord, if you're asking a question, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you very loudly, so I'm not trying to ignore you.
I said good night.
Oh,
good night, buddy.
all right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I have a hard time with flying and I don't mind flying and narrating because you're just kind of spitting out what you're thinking, what you're doing. But sometimes I do a bad job of interacting with folks on the Discord. I certainly don't mean to do that, but it's just kind of my lack of ability to multitask. Well, all right. We did have a good group, though. I think at one point we had close to 8 people flying with us. I don't know if they all made it, but at one point in time, 8 or 9 of us were in the air attempting to get down here to Nevada. We might have lost a couple at Jackpot Hayden because the slot machines are there in the FBO. So I understand that.
You still on your way, Melvin?
I am. Are you there? No response.
All right, I'm gonna try not to be lost in this big canyon.
That should lead you right where you need to go, I would think. interesting, just kind of scrub brush, scrubby trees, junipers and stuff, I'm sure. Well, hence the name, right? But then in here somewhere is just a little dirt strip, about the halfway point to where I'm trying to get to. And so while I'm finding this, let me just tell you, I guess, a little bit about what I'm thinking here in the near future.
Welcome
So,
to Juniper.
all right, that's what I'm talking about. Good job. What I would like to do is I'm going to have to do one more kind of cross-country flight like this from Juniper down to the Canyonlands of Utah. But I've been working on some scenery down there, and I am currently working on organizing a fly-in for either the end of this month or the beginning of April. And so I don't have a lot of details. I've got a few things in the works, but I need to get some more things hammered out before I make any official announcements. But I can tell you this: it's more than likely going to be either associated with our Bush League,
It'd be nice to live in that house.
our Bush League backcountry fly-ins, or it's going to be an event with the Virtual USA Flying Club.
Long way.
So when I know more, when I have more of the details hammered out, I will obviously post information on the usual places. But that's kind of the idea. This flight was get us about halfway there, and then the next flight will take us into Utah, and so then we'll have some fun down there in the Canyonlands. But in the meantime, Downwind Sim talks about not getting lost. I'm kind of in that same boat. Titanium Druid, the difference really to me is not much. A group flight tends to be more of a, like what we did tonight, where you depart from one spot and you fly together to the next spot. Whereas a fly-in is a little bit more of a, let's meet at a location, and you don't necessarily all have to come from the same place. Like when I think of the High Sierra fly-in that you see all those guys, Trent Palmer and all those off-road guys or off-airport guys do, that's more of a fly-in where they've got guys. Oshkosh is a fly-in where everybody comes in and they fly into an airfield. And then a lot of times they'll do things as a group as well. But that, to me, I think that's the difference. That may not be really what the difference is, but that's my own little, I guess, non-pilot version of what I believe it is. So I'll let anybody in the chat
See you coming in.
just tell me if that's not right, because I like to learn. But all right, so that's good. They see me coming in. I should actually be flying completely, like almost a downwind leg right now, and because it's 2.5 is what I'm looking for, but I don't have any kind of a visual yet. It could be over here somewhere. It could be on the other side somewhere. But it's good that I have eyes on the ground that see me. It could be back up on that hillside.
I think they were saying they see me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, yep, gotcha.
See you almost on a right downwind. Coming in.
I think
Kinda
this
going
is
into a right base.
okay. I think this little patch that I'm coming up on is a good thing. I think this is the patch right before the ranch. The one thing I do remember from kind of taking the aerial view of the airstrip is there's a nice kind of green ranch, farmland section that runs right through here. So I think that's a good thing that I'm finding that. I'm going to tell myself that just to stay positive. But yeah, that is the TD. That's what I like about it is having the opportunity to talk, on Unicom and on these uncontrolled airfields, communicate with one another and make sure that everybody's on the same page, and yeah, just having to be looking out, being aware of who's around you and maintaining visual separation and all that good stuff. And let's face it, VFR skills in flight sim are not great, because we haven't had the world rendered in such a way that you really can do a lot of good VFR, true VFR navigation. And so, I mean, Slant Alpha talks a lot about that much more eloquently than I ever could. But that's the point he continues to come back to, is that before ortho, you really didn't have the ability to see landmarks that you need to fly, VFR. Like if you lived out here, you would know the name of that wash, and you'd know exactly where you're at, and you'd know the name of this little creek, and you'd know the name of that hill and all that stuff. Before we just didn't have that. So now it is. It's fun to, like the bay, that Bay Area Bay Slip fly-in
Juniper right now.
was so fun because you could see all the key check-in points. You could see where the beach was and where the marina was and where the high school was, and guys that were loading up and flying in there in P3D, they didn't have that. And yeah, they were still able to make it in and have fun, but it just wasn't quite the same experience. All right, so what I'm hoping here is that we come around, and it may be the backside of this hill, or it could be the backside of this next ridge line that we're looking at landing into. I still don't have a VOR that's telling me I'm getting close, but with any luck, we won't be too far away. We need to keep our eye on Slant Alpha. He's actually coming in from the east because he flew to Lucian, I don't know how you say that. He flew right to that Lucian VOR. Now he's coming direct in.
Oh, do you have his airport installed?
No.
Oh, okay, because you're like way over there.
He's yet to drink the ortho Kool-Aid.
No, I don't have the ortho time. I have ortho, but I have your airport though.
How did it render without the ortho, by the way?
I mean, it looks good. It looked good. It wasn't as green as yours that much in your thing. So it looks a little different. It's more brown fills.
Well, good. I'm glad it looked all right, and I thought the one that, because I had asked Mike to spawn in just at the default one just to make sure something was there, and that, I think the area looks nice. It's the runway is a little bit generic, but the area still looked pretty nice.
Yeah, no, the runway actually looks nice. I like the runway. I mean, I have your airport. I don't know if you added the house, the barn, a big hangar, a yellow car, but the runway, I like the runway. It looked nice.
Yep, that I added the house. Yeah, the couple of buildings and a car. That was, I think, about it. I think I put a cement pad out there or something too, but pretty minimal.
But the generic airport's real different because Mike landed pretty far to the right.
Oh, yeah, that happens. All right, well, I don't. Yeah, 28. We're getting about to that point where we should be, getting close according to our stopwatch, our timer. Of course, we did take a little bit of a detour, so that added a few minutes. So it might be that it's on the backside of this hill coming up as well. I do continue to look over here because it's kind of like a little ridge line like this is where the airport is, but that's not it. I mean, clearly not it. But it's kind of stuck on one of these little upsloping ridge lines to the west. Oh, here comes our VOR actually. So maybe we will be turning here before too long. Well, and actually here is a ranch, which is that. Okay, I think we may be close. So I'm just going to radio check again. And Juniper traffic 11816 radio check. Yeah, I've got an issue with that. I don't know what's going on. That's okay. We'll come in. So we may be looking at one of these ridge lines up in here somewhere, I guess. Yep, look at our radials right there.
I see you out there. I think you gotta come to your right.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what my VOR is telling me. I'm going to just wait just a little bit more and get to this ranch, and then I think the ranch, I'm going to hang a right. That should take me pretty much right into it. Oh, that might be it right there. Is that it? Oops. That might be it right there. Alright, let's do this. Let's bring speed back a little bit here. 5,400 even. That is our airport elevation. Let's yeah, we went past the VOR, so we'll make our turn. I don't know, we may be too high. We may have to fly a pattern and get ourselves where we need to be. But we can at least get heading to 250 and see how close we are. Yeah. Yeesh. Where are we? Where are we? Felt like I had a beat on it, but maybe
You're
not.
turning away in my view now. You gotta come more left.
Yeah. We'll just fly along the ridge line here until we see it. There's a little canyon that we have to follow.
I gotta
Or
get the freaking CSL right. Oh, I found the
there we go.
right.
There we go. There's
Follow
a
that video exactly.
well, maybe not. At the house? Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Let's put a notch of flaps in here. We're going to enter a right base. We are way too high. I mean, way too high. Let's
Chop
see.
and drop, baby.
Chop and drop, yeah. Says the real pilot who knows how to do that. Okay, second notch of flaps here. If we don't get there, we'll fly a pattern. We will definitely fly a pattern. Whoa, nose is coming down on me. Wait a minute. Don't want to do that. And kind of lost sight a little bit of the airport. Oh boy. I think it's up on the top of that ridge there. Alright. We're down nice and slow now, and about 700 foot up. I think we're okay to turn final. It's kind of an exploration turn here. Gosh, where the heck are you? There we are. I think I've got you. I think I've got you. Okay. So we're checking the area, scanning the area. I don't see anyone. I don't have a radio, but I don't see anyone on the ground. I would guess there might be antelope out here that you'd have to worry about, or deer, or something else, but uphill sloping runway. And I'm guessing that we do have a tailwind based on the winds that we've been fighting pretty much all day long. Looks like we're crabbing a little bit to our left. Feel like we're a hair high here, but not terrible. So just disorienting when it slopes uphill like that. Okay, final notch. We get a little bit of a balloon. Boy, we are really crabbing hard here. It'll be a little bit long. Bit of a power up the hill. Whoops, flared it a bit. Oh man. Well, that wasn't the greatest in the world, but it wasn't the worst either. And there's our friend Rob, I think, and probably Mike up here. They're in there having hot chocolate or something. Oh, I
Hey,
gotta
how
get
many
up the
bounces
hill.
was that?
Actually didn't bounce it.
Yeah, it looked good.
It wasn't too bad. I floated it a bit, but it wasn't half bad. Don't know if I'm going to make it up the hill, but all right. There we go. So, yeah. All right, that was cool. I like that. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Am I the last one here, guys?
Other than Ralph.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. Well, while he's
Don't
coming
count
in.
me out. I'm still
Oh,
coming.
all right. I'm waiting for you. We got eyes on you. I'm going to shut down though, and call it good for the plane, and then we'll talk a little bit about maybe what's coming up later on in the stream. And also, I think we need to take a maybe a quick replay view of that landing. So, Rob, tell me where you're at, so I don't want to miss you, man.
I was to the left. I could pull over there by you. I was to the left of the runway.
I'm sorry, Ralph. Ralph, where are you at? Rob, you're good. Sorry, Ralph, where are you at?
I'm in the middle of nowhere, still inbound dilution.
Oh gosh.
Just past a huge big ridge, so I think I'm kind of done climbing and starting to go down a little.
So he probably is about kind of right here. Okay. All right. We'll keep our eyes out for you. Okay, so let's do this. In the meantime, I'm going to disconnect for just a second. I'm going to disconnect just for a second and watch the replay, and then I'll come back in for Ralph's landing. Oh, I can't do that because, jeez. Actually, I'm not going to do that because I forgot this plane freaks out whenever I do the replay mode. So I'm just going to hang tight here for a little bit. All right, let's. Okay, we're gonna button things up. We got a couple things going on, but we'll start by.
I am in my noise abatement, so I'm gonna cut loose now.
Sounds good. Thanks for flying with us, JPC, and look forward to seeing what you guys come up with tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun.
You gonna be there, Marlon?
I am gonna make every attempt to be there. Yes, sir.
Ralph, you gonna try and be there tomorrow night too?
All right. Well, while we talk,
I will be there.
It's hard to hear you guys over the radio. What'd you say?
Yeah. I'm gonna mute that for just a second. While we're buttoning things up along those lines, let me tell you what I've got coming up myself. Regardless of if I'm going to be flying in that Friday night, I'll be flying somewhere tomorrow, I'm sure. But the next thing I have coming up, which is going to be kind of fun, is actually Saturday. We have the Fine Air DC-8 Historic Route number 2. And we're going to be heading from Grand Turks back to Miami. If you remember, a couple of Saturdays ago, we flew Miami to Providenciales and then Providenciales to Grand Turk. Well, we're going to turn that around and fly backwards and head back into Miami some point time on Saturday. And then the next week, Train It Up Tuesday, we'll be in the Denver area. We'll be in the Thuranda Kodiak. Having some fun there. We may possibly debut a new airplane on Train It Up Tuesday as well. It sort of just depends on how much time I'm able to get in this weekend. But then the following, it's a quick turnaround. Next Thursday, this time next week, we'll be right back here, episode 8 of the Nowhere Fast series, and we're going to be going from right here, Jupiter, Nevada, down to oh gosh, where the heck are we going? Down to Hanksville, Utah, Kilo Hotel Victor Echo. And that will set the stage for a Utah Canyonlands fly-in that will be sometime either end of this month or beginning of April. So that's kind of what the next week looks for me. And in the meantime, I actually have to go myself. My wife is giving me the old time to go deer. So Virtual GA checked in right at the end of the stream there. Dang, sorry I missed you, man. Thanks for checking in, though. Hope you had a great day. Yeah, get it. Connect with me on the Discord. Look me up, Brant Nyberg or Melvin Leroy, on the Discord, and we'll get you caught up with everything. I also do post on my Twitch stream. I post the schedule of events too. So I'd love to have you come fly with us. But plan next Thursday. Plan to be here. I'll get you some scenery, and we'll have some fun flying from Nevada down to Hanksville. Everybody else that popped in too, really appreciate all the new friends that came in and pushed the follow button. That was awesome. Live Fly Guy, thanks again for the host. We had a lot of other, Yang Lang gave us a host, JPC gave us a host. A lot of guys stepped up today and participated. And even though you couldn't fly it, maybe you at least were watching and supporting the channel. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. So it's nice to see that there's other GA guys out there that enjoy it as much as I do. But I am going to have to cut it short. Ralph, I'm sorry. I'll watch your landing on the replay, and it better be better than mine. Mine was 329 or something like that, so not hard to beat. But I'll be looking forward to watching you guys. And in the meantime, have an awesome rest of your Thursday. I will be looking for you on the TCAS. And until next time, take care. God bless.